Oh. All right, going to sunset, and then we're gonna go buy water.
Yesterday. Praise God! I thank God for my doctor. I thank God for meeting him. He sends me.
We'll listen to that later. All right, we got a new rig, so hopefully this will work. Brand new take on the rig, completely redone. It has a this version of the rig has an actual, metal case in it and everything surrounding it. We're running linear, horizontal with horizontal line leveling. So that's so far that's been good. We haven't had any glitches at all so far. Knock on wood. Still, hey, that dog, it looks so much like our dog. Oh shit. Some now noise in the back there. I don't know if we should go get water first. What time is it? It's 7:45. We almost could go get water first. Yeah, the sun's pretty high out there. The sun's pretty high. Let's do that. Let's go get water first. I'm gonna go buy the water. Yeah. I am hopeful this is going to be better. I wish I could show you. I wish I could show you how much tape I have on everything. I totally taped all of the attachments to the GoPro. They're like permanently taped. Yeah. I permanently taped all the attachments to the GoPro, like to the point where they will never come off. I completely wrote off the speaker because the GoPro speaker sucks. Actually, I hope I didn't cover any of the GoPro speaker mounts. You know what? I forgot my... Oh, wait, I can't turn here. What? How can I not turn here? How can I not turn here? That is crazy. Okay, I guess I'm not turning here. I thought that they... When did they change it? I'm gonna do a UE. I know, I'm like so bad. Come on, I got a 4-wheel drive. At least I can do it. Yeah, look at that sunset though. We're gonna have a great sunset. So I just need to get water. I don't even know if I should take you in for me to get water because I have to carry all this stuff. But I mean, we could try it. I guess we could try it. I went back to a bunch of different things that I was doing before. All right, we have to take the water in and carry it, so I'm going to park up here a little closer than usual. So yeah. Look at that, front row. Front row. All right. Front row parking. Oh, wrong thing. All right, so are you guys turned down? I hope you are. All right, turn you down. All right, I'm gonna load you up. I'm gonna load you up and take you in. You know what? I just have to go get the water. This is the part where I wish I could do it quickly, but it's sort of hard to do. All right, let's go. All right, putting the rig in the bag. In the stinky bag, by the way. The bag is very stinky now. I have tons of extra coil. Makes me look like Doc Ock. I got a 10 now, so I don't quite need all of that. I'm gonna coil that up and put it in my in my bag. I'm gonna take this off here. This thing is a pain in the butt. Did I tape over the speakers? Please tell me I didn't. Good. Okay. Speakers look safe. Okay. Whew, that kind of scared me for a second. I can't do stealth anymore. I'm gonna need an action 2 for the stealth. Yeah, late June is amazing. Yeah. This is the part where I wish I had quick release. And the medium mod is a pain in the butt. Oh my god, it's such a pain in the butt. It is because of this extra thing that you have to do to get the stuff to line up. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I really want to get it so I can just leave it in the thing and have a hey, how's it going, GB? I want to get it so that I can have it so that it never has to leave the selfie stick. And I'm gonna build a clamp. If I could get a clamp, then I could just open the clamp up, and 90% of the time when I'm streaming, I could just use this method. Because this thing, I'm either holding the selfie stick, or I'm putting it in my pocket, or I'm clamping it, you know? So 90% of the time, that's gonna cover everything that I would ever want to do. But like, it doesn't cover every single time, is the problem. But I feel more confident. Look at that, I'm like throwing the pack around like crazy, and there's nothing, no glitches at all. No glitches at all. I am so happy about that. You have no idea. Well, you have some idea, you've been hearing me complain about it. I do want to figure out the best cable routing for this. Let me try something else here. Again, this is all testing. We still have time, it's time before the sun goes down. I wonder if I come over from this side. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh yeah, that's like way better. Okay. That's what you'll do with a pack. And then I can just drive with the pack on. Yeah. Look up my nose or yeah, I know you don't want to look up my nose, but that's the only downside of this particular approach. There, see? Also man boob. No glitches though. So I am totally fine as long as there's no glitches. I will accept everything except for blackout glitches. I mean, everything else can be fixed. That cannot be fixed. And that was driving me insane the last 3 days. It was all because of this stupid GoPro Max Lens mod. Again, the GoPro cannot do shit. If you overtax, this is the moral of the story, in case you missed this morning's 3-hour session. The moral of the story is the GoPro cannot do what you think. It can't. And if you try to have it do what you think it can do, you will be sad. You will be very sad. I watched Rob, looks like he's working his, so he is, yeah. Yeah, he's been having the same kind of glitches as me. And I have a feeling that his glitches are different now, actually. I gotta tell you though, this new cabling is gonna make it really hard for me to get everything to work the way I want though. I'm gonna have to be more direct to that, because I have like a 3-inch thing coming out of the back of my camera, and it's like, it stops me from, you can't use the angle thing, it doesn't work. You know? Here, let me try something before we go in. I'm gonna raise you up so the cable so the cable clears. Right now the cable is like over my shoulder. If I do it like this, the cable's over my shoulder, so it's more like this is more like a shoulder mount. It's of course it's like really visible to everybody, but it allows the cable to clear a little bit easier. Can't hide the man boobs. They just are what they are. The man boobs are what they are. Get over it, Rob. Okay, here we go. I tell you what, it's nice to have hands-free though. That's actually really nice. I don't know where these things go though. My wife says I'm supposed to come over here and put these in someplace. I'm supposed to put them someplace. I don't want to be good enough for that. There they are. Bottle return. Okay, here we go. Here's a bottle. And here's a bottle. Let's go buy a bottle. I kind of want to drink though. What kind of drink? I want to drink like a cold drink. Cold drinks. In my pocket. You know what? I don't know how to buy it. Should I get a Red Bull? I haven't had Red Bull in a long time. I'm gonna get an orange Red Bull. Last time I got a Red Bull, you have any idea how long ago this was? Forever. I need to get 2 waters. So how does that work? I just returned those other 2. Do you need me to do something else? Okay. I told you. I told you.
Welcome, valued customer.
Am I really valued? Am I really valued though? That's what I want to know. Are you just lying or do you really think I'm valued? $3 for that thing.
If you are finished scanning,
I am not finished. I'm waiting. I am not finished indeed. Let me get some like really lame.
You are finished scanning.
I am not finished. Give me a break. Give me a break. I should not drink that, but I'm gonna drink it anyway. I don't care. I don't care. So far, no glitches. No glitches so far. No whammies.
Touch pay now.
No glitches. No glitches. No glitches. No glitches. No glitches. No glitches. Yeah. Let me turn Bluetooth off.
If you are finished scanning,
Um,
touch pay now.
do you want me to just ring it in? How? Okay. Yeah.
So I have to do a rain check for it because they said there's no more bottles.
There's no more water, period.
Yeah.
Wait.
Check for you.
I can just put the bottles up in their back and put them in the car and bring it back later. Would that be fine? I put 2 bottles in there just now. I walked in with them. You saw me,
Yeah,
right?
I saw you.
And that way I can just buy this and go and get the water later. Is there anywhere else? Well, I guess we need water. We're out. So is there, when's the next,
If you are finished scanning, touch pay
like
now.
when is the next delivery of water
Oh,
coming?
they said tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
How much time does it take to do a rain check? Or do you want me to just do that? I can just grab the bottles either way.
It's up to you.
I'll just buy this and then I'll get that. That seems faster. So, God, supply chain is hitting everything. Can I just say? It is. It's hitting everything.
Scan your shopper's card.
I don't have a shopper's card.
System processing. Swipe or insert card and follow instructions on keypad.
No. Well, that was kind of weird.
Remember to take your receipt. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. My wife's gonna be surprised though. She's gonna be really surprised. She's gonna be like, what the hell? Seriously, I would be surprised. Red Bull gives you wings. No, it doesn't. Red Bull gives you a cardiac after doing a marathon. Just ask the family of the dead people to whom that has happened. You don't believe me? Go look it up. There's people running marathons, drinking at the end and dying. It's not just coincidental. It's kind of sad. It's more than kind of sad. Hey, look, fluorescent lady. There's a fluorescent lady. Do you remember in the 80s when everybody wore fluorescent colors because we thought that was cool? And it made us look tan. And of course that lady has a tan too because she still thinks having brown skin is sexy. That's also a 1980s thing. Do the jitterbug. Yeah. It's a big bug into my heart. Alright, if I do this, like put the... I have to put the... It's easier. Because I don't have to about it. Alright. I mean, you know. Also, I have a metal... Yeah, I have a metal thing now. I'm gonna turn you up. Are you guys still there? Do we have any glitches besides bitrate? I'm gonna turn you up. I hope we didn't. 480. Yeah, so I mean, so far I haven't seen any of the deadly glitches. The deadly glitches being the ones where the blackouts. There's some camera tweaking I could do. It's a little bit dark.
Yeah, it's been mostly fine.
Yeah, what I need to see is... Oh shit, what was that? That scared me. It was just those bottles. It, like, really scared me though. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, the bitrate stuff is, I got that. It's a different problem. The problem that has been plaguing me has been the little teeny tiny blackouts that are caused by the camera not being able to encode fast enough. And if we see those, we're in trouble. That means the camera got too hot, or it was doing too much work, or something, like some stupid thing. So that's what we're really concerned with, really.
One Raiders from Vibing Creator have joined.
Oh!
It did that when you got in the car.
It did it when I got in the car? Maybe I bumped something or something. Those are supposed to be far and free between.
And Vibing Go.
Hey, how this sunset. Woohoo! Can be a good one. I'm gonna save my... Go! We just had one! We had another one! We had 2 glitches in a row. Crap. We just had two glitches in a row. Oh, I'm starting to...
Hello, boss. Hello, chat.
Hey, Vibing. We just had two blackout glitches in a row.
Yeah, we did.
And that worries me. That means that I might have to take out horizontal leveling. Yeah, there's a... so far, this problem has been addressed by making the camera do less work. Whenever you make the camera do less work, it's happier. So that's how you address that problem. And that means, like, you know, less zooming, less stuff like that. I didn't touch the camera at all, but I don't know, we'll see. We gotta really watch out. If you see any little blackouts like that, I need to know. I need to know. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back and watch the whole video, which I've been doing. You know. But if we have those little blackouts, those are the real killer blackouts. I think that they might happen if we overdrain the power on the Bella box too, and then the camcorder doesn't have enough power. But basically, those little black glitches, they happen when anything in the encoder chain fails. If anything from the camera through the Elgato Cam Link all the way to the camera, if any of those things fail, then we get that error. We get that little blackout. And we know that putting the media mod.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going, Gear Shift?
Hey guys.
We absolutely know. Redev. We know that if you put any if you put the max lens.
It went gray a few times, but when you got in the car, it went black a few times.
Yeah, it did. That might have been because I bumped the pack in the back, and I might have bumped the wire or something. So I really have to isolate when those things happen so that we can find out. So I appreciate. In fact, I noticed that Mikey actually has two of his emotes. One of them is a green square, and the other one is a red square. And I love it because people will, like, if there's any glitch at all, they will flood the chat with the red square so that he can see it, because he's like in the middle of, like, on his bike. He can't really see because he's biking at high speed or whatever. And I thought that was cool because I could do that too. And then if I just glancing down at the chat and all of a sudden it's streaming red, you know, assuming that, I don't know, maybe I have to turn TTS off to have that work though. So let's see. Here's where we're going. Now here's that bitrate glitch is the known one. That yay or nay? Ooh, yeah. Where did you find that? Yeah. So we know that there's a bitrate problem right here because it happens every time I come here. So I'm not going to stress about that too much. I mean, I'm just not. And also, putting my pack on and just going with my pack is by far the easiest thing to do. Right here, we know that this has a problem right here. This has a problem right here. It has every time. Yeah, those are global emotes. I know this exact spot has a problem with bitrate. So I have nothing I can do about it. I got 4 modems on right now, and it still has a problem. So that's not something I can fix. Wow, a great sunset though, Look at that. Let's go out and take some pictures of it. I should start taking pictures of it, not just like film it or video capture it. Oh, I kind of need this one though. Today has been crazy day at work, crazy day of this crazy IRL stuff. Crazy. I'm always ready to relax by the end of the day, I'll tell you that. I'm always ready. Somebody leaving their trash. God, look at that sunset. Isn't that beautiful? Reflection's great today. I'm trying to find a different place that has a sunset, but I do not even know.
It's amazing, Rob.
Isn't it amazing? Quietest? I know. I'm trying to find a place that's got like at least a similar an equally good place to come watch the sunset, but this place is just got to be my favorite. Still my favorite because of the lake. The lake effect is just so crazy awesome. Yep. Just put you all there. Oh my god. That was much easier because I had the pack on. Yeah.
We meet again, Lake.
Gear Shift, how are you? Yes, the lake and I are friends. That is a fantastic sunset. Oh my heck.
Looks like home less than 3.
Hey Retrotech. Look at that one. I'm so glad we made it here for that one. That's spectacular. Wow, just take it in. I don't even need music today. I was like, I just want to... I could start music. I could. I've been thinking about doing a music overlay so that you can hear the music. Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I love Red Bull. It gives me wings, but it also makes me fat. I bought this Chigger Bite. I got a Chigger Bite here yesterday, and it's like getting inflamed. Chiggers are not my friends. I got 2 Chigger Bites. You guys know what chiggers are? There's like these, they're like these little annoying flies.
Yeah.
I hate them. I hate them. They're annoying. They're not mosquitoes. They'll like, and they just bite you. They fly up and bite you, and then they take off. It's like an east thing. They don't have east or southeast.
Had tons of them all over me once after cutting a bunch of limbs.
Oh my gosh, really?
Are those the flesh-eating ones?
I don't know if they're flesh-eating or not, but my God, they leave these little marks.
We have skeeters here.
We have skeeters. We have skeeters too. Wait, do you see the skeeters on the water? There's actually skeeters on the water here. You guys have them, right? But chiggers are different. C-H-I-G-G-E-R-S. They're these little teeny black flies, and they land on you, and normally they're fine, but they love to bite you. They do, they just love it. God, look at that sunset, man. That's a great one. Wow. And I'm seeing it in 3D. I wish I could film it in 3D. But this is fun.
Oh, I know what those are. Very annoying. Kinda like gnats.
Yeah, they're gnats, but they bite you. Oh, there's skeeters in the water here, though. Somebody said skeeters. Like the water right here, there's definitely skeeters here.
Water looks nice tonight.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. The water is fantastic tonight.
Chiggers are red.
Are they red?
Oh, you are a skater. My high school friend moved to the States and became a pro skater in the late 90s.
Oh, he did?
At least here they are.
Yeah, they might be red there. I think they're black here. The one I saw yesterday was black. It's pro skater. Retrotech, you're gonna have to yeah, you're gonna have to let me know who that is. My skating day, my trick days are over, but I've been enjoying the longboard, you know.
Yeah,
I get out on
Finnish
the
guy
longboard.
called Ardo Sari.
Ardo Sari, huh? Wow, I'll have to look him up. Yeah. Gosh, this is a crazy great sunset tonight, everybody. I mean, really. I'm gonna turn it just a little bit. Get a little bit more of it in there. This is a crazy, crazy awesome sunset. We're also doing linear with horizontal line leveling. Oh, look at they're taking selfies. You see them? There's a couple taking this. I'm telling you, the sunset brings
I've been
out.
skating for 15 years and never touch a longboard lol.
Yeah. Well, look at you. Are you in your 50s? People taking pictures over there. Sugars are red, orange, or black? Or black. Really? Did not know that. Yeah. You're 27? Okay, fine. Yeah, me too. That's about when I started too. Yeah. You know, people are going to look at this sunset and they're going to think it's fake. This is all real, people. Oh my God. It is so gorgeous right now. Somebody clip this. We got to clip. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to go back and clip this. It's so gorgeous. Oh my God, we hit the jackpot today. Because we got sun that's breaking through, but we also got like cloudy sky. So it's just going on fire, you know? I love it. Yeah, I have to do longboarding because I don't have the knees for tricks anymore. I hate to put it that way, but that's just the way it is. I'm 54. I love doing the tricks and falling, but I can't. I'm gonna break a fucking hip. I mean a hip. I'm not supposed to swear. Don't swear, Rob. But I'm drinking Red Bull like all the kids. The sunset tonight. Oh my God. People are gonna think it's fake. They're gonna think I faked it. I'm doing a green screen because it's so good. They are. They're gonna be like, tricks of the reason you started? Yeah. You might actually like yoga when you get a little older. Yeah, you can do like handstands on your board and stuff. I know. It's not. This is 1080p. This is 1080p. You know what it is? It's linear. The reason it's so good is because it's linear and it's not wide. So it's got a lot more detail than usual. You see that contrail up there in that airplane? Pardon me. Yeah, to any of our newbies here, this is all real. This is out on the pier. I do this every night pretty much. So if you want to see the sunset at the same time, what is it, 8:15? No, the water is not washed out at all. And the water was kind of washed out the last time. I agree. I know. I think linear is where it's at. I think we've hit kind of a happy spot with the camera. Yellow submarine? No, it's not. Are you looking at the thing out there? No, there's like some rock formations out here. There's just some rock. There's usually a blue heron who hangs out on this one over here, and he'll yell at us. The blue heron will yell at us before he leaves. He's like, "Get out of my place." Trigger, how are you? Add 1 of 7. Oh, I'm so sorry. The ads are abysmal, and there's no way I can even turn them off. I can't. From your mobile, you can't do it. From mobile, you cannot stop the ads. Doesn't have ad. What do I want to say? In 28 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. I do wish they'd give us more control. They are trying to give us more control of the ads. Someone give Gregor a sub. I feel like I could give them one, but... The Beavis and Butthead movie trailer. Hey, if you're a mod, do you get ads? Maybe you don't. Maybe if you're like a mod, you don't get ads. You know? My God, this sunset tonight is so good. It's so good. Mods do get ads. Yeah, sorry about that. But, you know, I don't know. There would be no Twitch without ads, so, you know. MetaQuest, Invisalign, and some stress vape thing. I got the same ones. Those are the ones I always get. There's some more people, some more sunset photo takers coming out. I love, you know, I love the people who come out to take pictures of the sunset. It's kind of like a community. You know, I stopped after 2. Maybe it was, I don't know. J-Bears, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, this is very nice sunset tonight. It's one of the better ones, actually. Yeah, this is one of the better ones. This is definitely my favorite place to do this video because it's right on the lake. I can't get this close to where the water's edge is legally. Any other way, it's the only place. So, and there's some other family here. There's some other family here that are like at the pier. And this is something I've noticed about coming out to the sunsets. Oh gods of Zoom Zoom, hear our prayer. Europe next year? Me too. Why would the U.S. ban travel? Feisty Lobster, how are you? And it's dawn? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that awesome? You know, you must be from, oh, Sugar again. Another Sugar, I got him that time. I was talking to somebody from Saudi Arabia last night, and they were saying that. They were saying for them it was like morning. Yeah. Yeah. Keep them from laws. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what, J-Bears, if they do that, we are really in trouble. Midsummer's Eve. 128. Nice. It is. Now, we get political here all the time. We usually do that while I'm skating, though. I have no idea how we keep people. Yeah, there's lots of people that are moving. Yeah, I thought about moving to Canada last year. I love my country. I'm not going to abandon it unless there's a good reason. And the good reason probably won't be, you know, we might move to Vienna because my wife has family there and she has an art show there next year. So we're going to Vienna next year just to check it out. And we may move there. Otherwise, we're going to move to Spruce Pine. I love America. I still love America. I am not going to give up hope. I am not. I refuse to give up hope. I think we're going through horrible things right now. And by the way, if you want to talk about politics on my stream, that is totally fine. Let's just try to be respectful during the conversation, everybody. Because I don't think we should shy away from political discourse. I think we should actually have more of it, frankly. I think we should talk about politics and the issues. Not so much about politics, but we should talk about why we think what we do, and we should try to do it without fighting. Because if we don't start doing that, this whole country is going to go to pot. The reason this country is in so much trouble right now is because everybody is getting tribal about everything. They're like going to one side of the corner and they're never talking to anybody. I'm not talking to you about anything. They're just refusing to talk to each other. And that is what's causing the problems. When they decide all the females to get the puberty and have government breeding facilities, yeah, that is a possibility. That is they could do that, but you know what? It's not going to change unless people help it change. You know, I'm gonna stay positive here. I am so depressed about what's been happening, but at the same time, you know, respectful disagreement. The problem is that when you start talking about things like life and murder, and I mean, when you start calling people who kill a baby in your eyes a murderer, then it's really hard to talk rationally about it. That's why people get so bent out of shape. And yeah, 400 people that died in the past 2 years. Yeah. Who knows? I have no idea what's going on. I will just say this. If we don't start talking, the one thing that has destroyed our country has been the loss of respectful disagreement. We are more prone to, I suppose, offend people, and we are more prone to be offended by things. And both of them need to change. We need to be less offended and give people the benefit of the doubt, and God knows I need to do this. And we need to stop deliberately being offensive, deliberately saying things that we know are going to piss people off just because we want to troll them. In fact, if there's one thing that's destroyed the collapse of Rome with Wi-Fi, if there's one thing that has really ruined America, it's been the pushing everybody to the extremes, pushing people to the extremes. And by the way, I'm not saying it's completely because of this, but that is exactly what the Russians in the documentary about Cambridge Analytica, that's exactly what they were doing. They've already busted them. They have entire rings of people in Russia and other places, not just Russia, China, who are deliberately inflaming the discourse in America so that they can push the culture war, so we'll just destroy ourselves. They're deliberately pushing us to the edges. So if you want to fight against what's taking down our country and what's taking us down from foreign powers, the foreign powers are very subtly pushing us to the extremes. And by pushing us to the extremes, they're just sitting back and watching us destroy ourselves. It's pretty brilliant if you think about it. Yeah. So if you truly want to fight against your idea of like foreign invasion or, what's being taken over in our world, if you really are truly sincere in that, then that means that you need to allow, number one, you need to stop being offended by people who are picking fights with you. And you need to stop picking fights with people. You need to, and by the way, it means a lot of us have just run away from it. And we're like, I'm not going to talk about it at all. And I suppose that's better than saying or doing something that would destroy a relationship forever, like my family has had happen. I can't talk to my family anymore. To fall because of mankind, yes. Have to be regulated. I don't know if they need to be regulated. I don't know if regulation is the answer. I don't know what the answers are. I know that we need to talk about possible answers. I also don't think that one size fit all answers are ever the way to go, and that includes abortion. I'm a pretty conservative guy, but there are certain cases where like it doesn't make any sense to say, there's people who are miscarrying. Are they going to go in prison? It's not always tell the complete truth, no matter which side you're on. Yeah. When I first got onto the internet in the early 90s, disagreements were solved by respectful debate. I know. I remember that being a cool thing about the internet. Back then, you would actually have a conversation about things instead of like picking fights and picking your side and starting to punch each other. Yeah. I think I really bad used the van hammer. Yeah. Younger generation isn't come. I completely agree. We got to learn how to talk to each other without wanting to throw a punch. I mean, if we can't do that, we're dead. We are dead. And I know if you believe in any kind of God, that's what God would want you to do, by the way. Jesus, Muhammad, whatever God you want to believe in, every single one of those gods, not a single one of them says go punch your neighbor rather than talk to them and figure it out. That's not what they say. I don't know what Bible you're reading. Countries accusing Facebook of degrading democracies. It is, but it's actually not. People are using Facebook, right? Just like they use nuclear technology. Did I say it right? Did I say nuclear or nuclear? Which one did I say? Scientology, yeah. Yeah, news groups and IRC were great. And countries accused of Facebook. Yeah, well, I'm against it, but I don't have the will to fight against it. I just want to raise a family and be all good. And that's really, you know what, Jay Bears, though? I hear you. I hear what you're saying. So many young people are not even having families because I am not raising a family in this polarized hell of a world. And I don't know. I think I might be with them on that. Yeah. It doesn't feel like home. Turn the other cheek. Nuclear. I generally fall on the economic side of the things, but the social media recommends content is literally the worst possible way for productive. So, agreed. Yeah. Side note, your review is amazing. It isn't. It's getting better too. It's just getting better. I'm like, oh, I can't leave this. It's so amazing. It's such a great view tonight. It is. I just kind of want to stay here all night. I'm in North Carolina. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't have a state or anything like that. Yes, this is the lake in Mooresville, North Carolina. Actually, I can do docs. I'll dox myself. There you go. Yeah. So. Yeah. It is amazing. You carry him. Don't you love it? You have a course out now? Nice. I'm glad you have a course out. That's great. I'm glad you do. I know you've been working on that. I know, and so does OSCP. OSCP came out with offensive security, came out of the course too. I'm just sticking with my Saturday study sessions. I don't even really want to call it the boost anymore, but it really is still the boost. It's just a bunch of people coming together and studying stuff and working on stuff now. That's all Saturday is. We have that Sunday. We have that 1 to 5 thing on Sundays. Is your last name German? Mulstein? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, my parents immigrated from my great-great-great-great-grandparents, joined the Mormon Church, buried their whole family at sea, and then came here to Utah. They came to Utah and settled down in Utah. And they moved here from Switzerland, actually. Work is crazy. I know, mine too. Yeah. Like dead work. I know. That's... I know exactly what you're talking about. In IT, it's like, it has to be done tomorrow. Or it's like, well, we'll figure something out. Where do younger people meet spouses? Is meeting in a real place? I don't think it is, Kreger. Yeah. OSCE is the goal. I think OSCE would be fantastic. I want one so bad. By the way, to get in OSCE, you have to have a laptop that can run with at least 8 CPUs. Go read the requirements. And it has to be able to run more than 3 virtual machines at the same time, because you have to take that training at DEF CON. Yep. That's, if you want to get OSCE, you have to be accepted into it. It's a big deal. About letting me study for it? Nice. Yeah, but to get into it, it's really hard to even get accepted for it. You met your wife online? I met my wife online too. Wait, it's that Hawk again. That Hawk, he was over here last time. Can you hear him? It sells out like hotcakes, yeah, because and you have to do it in person, and you have to take it during that 1 week. And it's like super duper intense. Quietest, if you actually get the OSCE, if you're working to get it, I really, really want to hear from you. I do, because I was seriously thinking about getting it. I was like really seriously going for it for a while. I was headed toward it a year and a half ago when I started streaming. Yeah, I seen to the stream. North Carolina is beautiful. North Carolina, America is beautiful, but North Carolina is one of the most beautiful states you'll ever visit in America. Every state has something different. That's what I like about the United States. All the states have some amazing beauty, but North Carolina's got kind of classic forest beauty, you know? Like there's rabbits running around everywhere, and there's birds of prey, and there's bears. It's kind of like a television show, you know? XSS Rat. Certificate Web and Pen Testing. Ooh, that sounds cool, Jay Bears. Jay Bears, if you know what we need, I started doing this, and I still want to do it. We need a list of all the certifications that actually matter for security. You know, OSCP is pretty well regarded, right? Pone College, I've heard, is pretty good. I'm going through that and doing CTFS. Did you mention that before? Oh, I don't think I knew that. You probably said I forgot. Alaska has huge eagles. They absolutely do. Northwest Arizona. Yeah, is fantastic. It's beautiful. I lived in Tucson. Yeah, I lived in Tucson for years. I love Arizona. Arizona is one of the best places you could ever go. Pwnable.kr. Oh, I hope those are all saved so I can go back and look them up. Tomato, how are you? How are you? I mean, there's still a very real part of me that wants to go the whole... Did I say Arizona? Arkansas. Is it? I don't remember. What's Arizona? AZ? Don't give me crap. I'm American. I don't know geography. Actually, I took a geography class in college just so I could be the American who actually knows geography. Flagstaff, Sedona, yeah. Sedona is a different sort of area. Yeah. No, yeah. I can live in Flagstaff. The people are flat fishing. Yeah, oh my god, the bugs are crazy. HR bypass, Sec Plus. Really? I don't like CompTIA. The problem with Sec Plus is that it's a question and answer, right? Isn't Security Plus like a CompTIA multiple guess test? I mean, that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard about it. Excuse me. Oh my god, this sky is so amazing. I can't leave it. You used to living in buggy places? Yeah, I tell you what, Tucson is like living on a foreign planet, a different planet. It's insane. It's like you kick over a rock and there's the craziest bugs you've ever seen. It's like, you know, millennia of evolution of critters that have like survived. What takes is to hand them a blank map and ask them to identify a political hotspot on the map. That's just mean. We can't talk about this issue unless you can show me where it's happening. Where is Ukraine on the map? Show me Russia on the map. I mean, at least with Russia, if you took you could take a pretty big... You'd be surprised. There are Americans who literally don't know where Russia is on a map. They could not point to it. See you, Jammers. Thanks for the visit. Appreciate it. Yeah, keep us informed. I used to be really good with geography. And yeah, because I used to travel a lot, and you know, I was in Europe a lot, and I haven't been for 20-30 years. Afghanistan, no way. Most of them can't even point to the Gaza Strip. They'll have all kinds of opinions about I mean, that's not even the hottest geopolitical issue anymore. It's kind of funny that the Gaza Strip has kind of become a non-issue, even though it's still a hot issue, you know. And that used to be the issue that dominated all the international news. People don't even talk about it anymore. There's like another Palestinian attack, nobody even talks about it. It's like, or the Israel invades, you know, Gaza and bombs a whole bunch of Palestinians. Either way, you used to hear about that like every week. Could identify nice. Oh, they can't. They absolutely can't. No. You know what's a good one? Nebraska. Yeah, Obama did away with Gaza talk. I don't know if that was Obama or not. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if that was the thing. Dude, seriously, if you ask somebody... oh, here's another one. Tell them to point to Delaware. Ask the average American to find Delaware. It's over here on the east somewhere. But seriously, if you ask them like Nebraska, they can't tell you. They cannot tell you. They cannot tell you. You know what one I actually had a hard time with for a long time is Ohio. Yeah. Because Ohio is kind of hard to pin down. Yeah, oh, they don't, yeah. There's so many people that get the part over, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't get my main news from any news channel anymore, but I do listen to Fox and I do listen to CNN because I like to see what's happening. I listen to what's for it, not for the same reasons other people do. I listen to it because I want to see what they're doing. For example, today on Fox Radio, during the Sean Hannity show, they had an advertisement for gold, and the entire advertisement was about we're coming. The worst first financial crisis ever known since 2009 is coming next week. Buy our expensive guide to teach you how to buy gold and survive the next impending financial crisis. Be afraid. Be very afraid. And only our product can make you not afraid. I swear that just listening to the advertising on Fox tells you everything you need to know about it. It's playing on, unfortunately, people who don't do a lot of critical thinking, and the ads are all the proof you need. It's like every one of the ads is telling you that you're gonna die. They're telling you that you're gonna die, and that if you don't do what they tell you, that you're gonna end up dead, or you're gonna end up sick, or you're gonna end up, your family's gonna be poverty. They keep playing on the fears of everybody. When I was in business class in junior high, this really great business teacher, she taught us typing and business, and she taught us marketing. She said there's like 4 basic advertising marketing types, and every single ad falls within one of these 4 types. And yeah, and I mean, look, CNN, I can't watch CNN at all anymore either. CNN is just as inflamed the other way. And so I watch them just to kind of glean from them. Actually, Colbert is one of my favorite. He's also not completely biased, without bias as well. I just think he's funny. The Nightly Show, what is it? No. The Stephen Colbert is one of my favorites to watch. He's very, left-leaning, but he's intelligent. He played Dungeons & Dragons, for God's sakes, and he loves The Hobbit. C-SPAN is pretty good. C-SPAN is pretty good. If you're going to listen to like the NPRs and the C-SPANs and the CNNs, and you're going to listen to Fox, and if you're going to listen to them all, then you kind of, Al Jazeera too. I listen to Al Jazeera too. Because, this I'll tell you, when I was living in Russia, the people, yeah, Al Jazeera for sure. Al Jazeera and Reuters, but if you just get your news from multiple sources and then kind of try to pick the truth out of it, none of them are going to be 100% true. They're all going to have some bias. You just have to figure out where the bias is. The more likely they're trying to sell you something, the more, like Washington Post is totally biased. I mean, Bezos bought it so he could control it, for God's sake. And a lot of the stuff I agree with that he does, but it doesn't matter. He bought that paper so he could control it. The more likely somebody is to sell you something, the more likely someone is to sell you something, the more likely they are to lie to you. Whether they admit it or not. Whether they know it or not. Yeah. And, I think some of the best way to get news is actually, I know you're going to laugh, but I think it's social media. But the problem with social media is people find their echo chambers. They don't go listen to other areas. They don't go out of their way to listen to multiple sources. They just listen to the stuff that confirms what they have to say. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist, he says that Google and Facebook and stuff like that, they're just what do you call them? They're not search engines. They're confirmation bias engines. All they do is you just reiterate everything that you believe about reality and the universe, and they don't ever challenge what you have to say. They don't ever put something that challenges you in front of you, and so they don't promote critical thinking in general. And that goes for everybody. That goes for me. It goes for everybody. So you just have to be aware of it. Yeah. International radio. Ever since I went abroad, yeah, there's giant echo chambers. You know, ever since I went abroad and I saw how the mainstream media covered a disagreement in Russia, there was a huge, huge protest, and there was one little scuffle. There was about a half dozen people that were scuffling with the police, and every single news camera, I saw this with my own eyes, me and the tourists that I was taking through there. Every single camera, international camera, was huddled around. There must have been 20 cameras huddled around this little tiny skirmish that was really violent, and the rest of it was peaceful. All of it was peaceful, and none of that got portrayed. And then I that was the moment when I looked at that and I said, this is what is happening. You know, peaceful protests don't sell news ads. They don't. Agenda Free TV is pretty good. Yeah, on Twitch. Yeah, I've been watching him too a little bit. Yeah, it's another good source. And the thing, the problem is cable news, period. Cable news, they are making money. The head of CNN is quoted as saying, Trump might be bad for our country, but my God, he's good for profit. That's his exact words. And then he keeps pumping up all the Trump stuff because it sells. The more controversial it is, the more fighty it is, the more trolling it is, the more money they sell. They don't care. Watch the whole world burn. They don't give a shit. It's just greed at its worst. And Rupert Murdoch is no different. Rupert Murdoch doesn't even like half the stuff that he puts out there, but he lets it go because it makes him money, man. Oh my God, it makes him money. The problem is you cannot get... Look, Walter Cronkite and the gang, back when the news, and I'm old enough to remember this, back in the day, the news was 3 channels, and they were subsidized by the government because there were only 3 channels, period. ABC, CBS, and NBC. That was it. And then there was public television. That was it. And so they had the news channels back then, and they had a lot of problems too. And I don't want to, BBC, yeah. They were subsidized by the government, so they had a mandate from the society to be less partial. Now, they definitely had biases, but we were just unaware of them because there was only 3 news sources. It was actually kind of scary because if they said something, you believed it. I think one of the good things about all of this shit that's going down now with the whole cable news stuff is I don't think there's a single person alive right now who trusts cable news. And the ones that do, honestly, they tend to be from the older generation who are used to trusting the news that they see. And they just take it at face value and they don't try to test it or anything. They're also the people that send you crap in your email that you have to tell them, hey, you really want to Snopes that because that is not true. Oh, there's a turtle out here. You can't see him. He just stuck his head under. There's a turtle out here hanging out. Yeah. I mean, so at least back in the day, you know, I think the answer is to do that. But in order to do that, you have to have a government that works. And as long as our government is still broken, and our government right now is really, really broken because of corruption, we have money is like driving everything in America right now. We're not a kleptocracy, but we definitely are not even a republic anymore. The stuff that's going down is like straight up corruption. We have Supreme Court justices lying to Senate confirmation hearings about their position on Roe v. Wade just so they can get in and change the decision. That's how much we don't respect the rule of law anymore. People will do anything for money today, anything, and they'll justify it as saying that that's what, you know, is the right thing, and then yeah. The framers of the Constitution would be just terrified. They would be. But they had a lot of problems too. I don't want to sugarcoat it, man. You know, Washington was not a good person. He wasn't. What do I think about my current president? he's the president, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like him. I don't dislike him. Is he better than Trump? Hell yeah. That is about all I have to say about that. I wish that, I mean, Bernie's not perfect, but I wish Bernie Sanders had been given a fair handling, fair shake in the whole Bernie Sanders fiasco with Hillary Clinton and the whole railroading of the Democratic Convention, which they were forced and shamed to admit, by the way, is just a perfect example that this goes both ways. This crap is not just Republican and it's not just Democrat. Both parties are full of crap. Bernie didn't even get a fair shake. Bernie won the nomination. Go look at the statistics. Bernie won the nomination to the Democratic National Convention, and the people in power said, "We don't care. We're gonna elect Hillary." And the electors who were told, who were duty bound to represent the electoral votes that were given in the Democratic Congress, voted against their own electorate, and they chose Hillary anyway. And you know what? When they did that, everybody walked. All of the supporters of the Democratic Party, all of the people who came out starting voting and supporting Bernie and got politically active and everything, they all walked. They all walked. They said, "We're not doing this." And then they walked away, and then they didn't vote, and Trump won. Because it's all corrupt. All of it's corrupt. Hillary's totally corrupt. Clinton is corrupt too, and they're totally corrupt. They're all different flavors of corrupt. It's like, I would not vote for Kanye. You know, every time I think people tell me that I'm kind of libertarian, but libertarians don't believe in the rule of law at all. So they're closer to anarchists than anything, the way I understand it. So I am not libertarian. The only thing I have to say is I don't know what I am. That's all I have to say. I don't know what I am. He did. Bernie, look, you can disagree with some of the concessions that he made in his politics and all of that stuff, but Bernie, what happened to him in the Democratic National Convention is a travesty. It was an absolute failure of the American political system. People say, well, it wasn't the political system, it was just the Democratic Party. I'm politically homeless, like many other Americans, by the way. Yeah, just to let cliques fighting each other, whoever wins losing. The founding fathers didn't even conceive of party politics when they did it. They did it, and then we started with the Whigs and all that stuff. Party politics is what's destroying us, and there are countries who've thrown out party politics, but in order to throw out those systems, you have to get rid of the current system. That means you have to have a system to do that, and you cannot do that if your system's broken. And we got people gerrymandering voting districts to control who wins elections and stuff. Well, that kind of stuff is still going on because that's who wants to win and stay in power. There's never going to be any reform. In fact, I personally, Trump originally, he absolutely was. Yeah, I think, you know, I am, you know, it's funny because on the whole abortion thing, for example, I am anti-abortion. I am anti-third trimester abortion, for sure. Anti-abortion, for sure. But I'm also pro-abortion, day after pill. I got raped, whatever, you know what I mean? And I also believe thoroughly, oh man, look at those pink mountains. Oh, look at those pink clouds. You seeing this? Look at that. What a perfect pink thing to talk about women. So the problem with abortion is it's a very, very tricky topic. And I personally don't think it's anybody's business to make that decision except for the woman and her medical professional to help her decide, because it is a hard enough issue to deal with. And if you think that you know better than any specific case, then God, this is so gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that pink. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I got that on video. The whole abortion thing is more complicated. The way I try to talk about it is like this. Most people disagree that a woman can have a baby and throw it in the trash or flush it down the toilet. They're like, oh my God, no, I don't want that. And then they also agree that taking taking a day after pill after an abortion, just to be sure that you don't get pregnant because your contraception might not have worked, most people are okay with that. Wow, look at that sunset. It's funny because it's pink and we're talking about, you know, this issue. So the thing about the whole abortion issue is it's really not about abortion, it's about life. It's about how do you define life? Is it okay to kill a cell that just got fertilized literally 10 hours ago? Most people would say yes. In fact, the body will discard that cell a lot of times when it doesn't work. My ex-wife, she had 2, you know, heavy flows before we had our first child, and they were probably miscarriages. And now we got people that are going to be charged with felonies, you know, for miscarrying on accident, or any number of things. So there's that extreme, right? And then on the other extreme, you have, does anybody think it's okay to take a newborn baby and throw it in the trash? And by the way, there are countries that think that's fine. There are countries that definitely think that's fine. Kamala Harris's babies. I don't know about that. But no, I mean, I don't believe any of the demon shit, the whole QAnon thing. It's complete fantasy. Look at that sunset, though. I was not expecting that. That has changed dramatically. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. So people don't think throwing a baby in a dumpster is okay, and they also don't think there's anything wrong with taking a pill that's going to stop your abortion just in case your contraception didn't work. Now, there are people that don't like that. There's people who think contraception is the devil, and that's just bullshit. That almost killed my mom, by the way. I'm the oldest of 8 kids, and the Mormons said, I'm sorry, you can't use contraception, and so she almost died on the last one. I'm not even kidding. She almost died on the last one. She had a spinal block, and it went the wrong direction. And she kept saying, well, Jesus, my son. And then they changed. The Mormons changed. The Mormons changed their position on it, and they said, well, you can take contraception between your medical professional if it is regarding the health of the mother. And the church changed their definition of health of the mother to include mental health. By the way, my mom went crazy, like straitjacket crazy. And yes, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? We're talking about rough topics in front of the sunset. This is true. This is a real sunset, by the way. Yeah. Isn't this great? And, you know, so yeah, and they changed their mind on it. And my mom told me to this day, she says, you know, if the Mormons had told me when I had child number 7, because I was the oldest of 8, that the health of the mother, which allows me to take contraception, included my mental health, I would have started taking contraception a long time ago. So, you know, I don't know. And the thing that bothers me the most about the whole thing is that and I'm not complaining, I'm just talking here. The people who claim to be pro-life won't do anything for those babies once they're born. They're like, oh, they deserve to not get on welfare. They need to go work harder or something. They get themselves in trouble, and they make mistakes. They end up with a baby early, and they can't get it adopted for whatever reason, and they don't want to do anything to help that woman at all. They don't want to help her, and I think that's unfair. I think that the people who actually say that they want to help women should, you know, look, if you don't want a woman to kill the baby or whatever, then provide a social safety net so more women would choose to adopt. Anyway, you know, I just feel like it's disingenuous to say, you know, I mean, America's really good at doing this, by the way. We're really good at doing this. We're like, rah, protect, you know, freedom, liberty. Let's go send a military over here to help the cause of freedom, you know, replace that word with oil, you know, anywhere, right? And then we do nothing for the veterans when they come back. We don't have any social services for them when it comes time to pay them for stuff. Are contemplating adoption? Yeah. And there's a lot of people who, you know, look, if you truly, if you really believe that there are women who are going to make mistakes and we want to help them to not end the life of their fetus for whatever reason, right? If you really think that that's a bad thing and you really want to help them, you know how you help them? You make them not feel so desperate. And how do you make them feel not so desperate? You have a social structure for them that will support them. You have something that they can go to, that they can talk to, they can say, look, we're going to help you through this trouble pregnancy. We're going to help you have this baby, and we're going to make sure your baby has a good home and that you perhaps even have some level of visiting rights or something like that. I mean, if you really want to end abortion, then help the women who are stuck in these horrible situations to have confidence that they can make up for their mistakes, that they can go through those things and feel like they have support. Right now, those women are so desperate because they look around at the world and they can't even get insulin. They have to go, group source insulin shots or whatever because the healthcare system is so horrible. So you take that situation, you take a young, confused woman who ends up pregnant, and what is she going to do? But if you were to create all of the systems, the social systems to help people recover from those mistakes, are you going to be promoting those mistakes? No. Those mistakes are going to happen. People are dumb, they're stupid, they're young, they're foolish, they're passionate, they're going to make those mistakes all the time. What you're doing is you're helping them recover from the mistake in a way that you believe in. But they don't. The same people that are pushing abortion are also pushing to take away all of the social safety nets that have ever existed for such things. They don't want anybody to have a free ride, they call it. Because if it's consequences, that's because they made a stupid decision. So they should have that baby and they should just learn to deal with it and suck it up and get a job. How are they supposed to do that after they make that mistake? You just took away their ability to do that. Well, they should have their parents. What if they don't have parents? What if they, I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of emotional here. Yeah. Close to millions, yeah. And teach people sex ed, yeah. The veteran thing's maddening. I know it is. We're just catching up on Twitter, and boy, even our Kubernetes community is caught up with the whole thing. Wow. I can't even imagine how impossibly difficult decisions could be. Can you imagine? Hearing my daughter's heartbeat the first time? Yeah. We'll have 2 or more new amendments. I hope we do. I don't know. God, this sunset is still beautiful. And I hope nobody listening to me takes personal offense at this. If you disagree, tell me that you disagree. I'd love to talk about it. But the part that I find the most maddening about the whole thing is the people who are claiming to be acting in, they're vindictive. They're not passionate. They're not merciful. The people that are saying, screw you if you fuck up, if you make a decision, it's your problem, blah, 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 blah. They're like God's vengeance and justice. They're not God's mercy. What did Jesus do to the harlot? I mean, if you're Christian, let's take this example. What did Jesus do to the harlot? He said, God, I'm going to cry. Jesus went to the harlot and he said, you know what? You fucked up. You fucked up big time. You're lucky you didn't get pregnant. And even if you get pregnant, what would Jesus have done to that woman, to that harlot? He would have embraced her, and he would have loved her, and he would have helped her. That's what Jesus would do. Jesus wouldn't go say, fuck you, you made a mistake. You better live with it now. And by the way, you can't get an abortion either, because that's killing people. That is not what Jesus would do. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Because so many women go through this. They go through this problem. I know women who've done that. My wife went through that. I know women who've gone through total horrible situations. And I'm not saying they should have had an abortion. I'm saying that they felt desperate and helpless. And they didn't have anybody there to support them. Some of them didn't even have families to support them. Some of them got pregnant because of incest. And now all those women have no hope at all. This vote, the only thing this vote says to them is, we really don't give a fuck about you. That's what it says. And that's what they're seeing. They're not seeing the whole life issue and all that stuff. They're seeing, oh, another sign that governments really don't care about me at all. And I'm trying my hardest to make it through this life, and I'm making mistakes, and I'm doing things, and I just happen to be the one who has to take all the repercussions of it because I'm a woman. You don't see the guys complaining about any of this. They just fucking walk. First of all, I don't think anybody should be making any of these decisions except for mostly women. I think most of the people that are making these horrible, difficult decisions should be women. The women should be leading the committees about this. They should be leading the conversation about this. They should be informing the men on this. It shouldn't be a bunch of white fucking assholes making decisions about what women should do. Women should be the primary people making these conversations. Men do have a say, but in this particular case, this is largely a woman's issue, and they need to deal with it. They're the ones who need to lead the charge in having the conversation, a very difficult conversation that most men can't even dream to appreciate. Yeah, pregnancy by rape. I know people love to go there, but that's an easy, yeah. You know, even the Mormons, their official position of the Mormons is pregnancy in the case of rape and incest is okay, as abortion is okay if it's in the first trimester. The Mormons say it's okay. It's on the books. It even says so. But they can't even do that now. They can't even do that. They got voted out. And the reason is because of this polarization. It's because of everybody thinking that they know what's up. I don't know. We've just, you know, our country claims to be Christian, but we've lost the spirit of Christ. We have. Our country's lost it. And you know what? I consider myself a Christ follower. I don't think Christ was divine, but I was raised Christian, and I still believe in the principles of Christianity, the core principles, you know, the Beatitudes. Who's talking about the Beatitudes? I don't hear anybody talking about the Beatitudes. You? No. What I see is people breaking door down of the White House because they want to take back their country. Yeah, I don't see Jesus turning the tables over. Okay, maybe because there was money laundering going on or whatever. It's like the entire Christian world in America has fucking forgot about the Beatitudes, about the Sermon on the Mount, about the 10 fucking commandments. They've just like obliterated the core of Christianity for the sake of whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. I don't know about the abortion decision. I don't look. Talking about the abortion decision is a tough thing. Do I think there should be a law banning abortion? I do think that there should be a law banning certain types of abortion. I do. Do I think there should be a law banning all abortion? No. The problem is you can't have a conversation about what that is. Even my wife and I disagree on what the law should look like. My wife thinks that is nobody's business but a woman and the doctor, and I largely agree with that. But I do think there needs to be something. Look, for me, the entire issue comes down to pain and suffering. If we can medically prove that a fetus can experience pain, then I think that should be the time at which we stop. That's my personal opinion. And I realize that it's not very well informed opinion. There's some place between the very first, you know, splitting of cells, the zygote, and the baby that responds to classical music inside of the womb and feels pain, that something magical happens and that human being becomes a human being. I do not think that a zygote is a human being. I don't. And I don't think the human body thinks it's a human being, because the human body discards zygotes all the time. It miscarries and discards them and everything. And we actually have, the thing that really sucks about all of this is we actually have the science now to make a pretty good guess about when, you know, the general signs of life appear. To me, the signs of life are whatever it is can respond to stimuli, that it can feel pain, that it's sentient, that it actually is aware that it exists. And some people would say that it's not aware it exists until it's out of your womb. I don't think so. I think you are actually aware of its existence much earlier than that. Sees it as until it's born, it's not alive. Yeah, and but see, that's just terrible. Dude, I'm sorry. If you look, my son was born a month early. All right, my son was born a month premature. There are people who would have aborted my son, and to me, that's fucking murder. That would have been murder if somebody had aborted my son in month 8, which nobody does, by the way, right? The late-term abortions, people love to talk about how horrible they are and everything like that. They're actually not very many of them. They don't happen. If you go look at the statistics for the abortion clinics anyway, unless they're lying on the abortion records, which I don't think they would, that kind of stuff does not happen as much as people like to think of it. But they use that as the extreme case to make the case against abortion. And nobody agrees that that's a good idea. Almost nobody. Apparently the Jewish people do. I don't know. According to Jandra, they might. It's a tough question. It's a tough question. It's a tough question that I think needs to be informed by mostly science, and other people don't think science should have an opinion on it. They think that God should tell us when life starts. Well, you know what? If you go by some of the other religions in the world, guess what? There are cases in India where women would drown their kids because, in fact, there's an entire myth in India, an entire story about a woman who was drowning the sons so that it would speed them on to their next life. So you can't just use religion to inform when life begins and pain and suffering and things like that. If you do, you're gonna have crazy things happening. I mean, there's religions that believe that young children should be sacrificed for God's sake. You know, you can't trust somebody's religious belief to inform law. Law has to be based on the best that our current society can provide in terms of science, in my opinion. And the science is going to be dead wrong on lots of things, and that this is why we can't have a conversation. The reason we can't have a conversation about this is because some people think that some angry white guy in the sky should tell you what to do and when life begins, and other people think that, you know, only science should inform when life begins. And the strange thing is that sometimes religious practices have turned out to be sounded in science. If you go back to some of the Hindu stuff, Ayurvedic stuff, and then you know, medicine comes along and confirms it. It's usually not that way, though. Usually usually science comes along and says, hey, guess what? The world's not the center of the universe. And they're like, I'm gonna kill you for that. Stop saying that. Well, it really is. You know, Galileo, right? And then Darwin's come along and goes, no, we can watch natural selection. It's a thing. And they're like, you know, because science is disruptive. This science blows away, you know. My son Otto was telling us that they used to shit in their drinking water in medieval times because the only thing that they thought had germs or was bad for you was if it smelled bad. So if the water didn't smell bad, it was totally fine. I mean, you know, and so, you know, but I trust science because science has brought us, you know, an increased lifespan. All about science. That wasn't God, by the way. We regularly live into our hundreds now. When the average lifespan was in our 40s before. You know who gets credit for that? Not God. Science. Science gets credit for that. And if you believe in God, and I do, if you believe in God, you can say God used science to guide humanity towards progress and to discover these things. Science has had massive failures, there's no doubt. Science has had, but that's the thing. The difference between science and religion is that religion, it dogmatically says it's never wrong. And it doesn't get to change, and it does change, but it just does it in a way that everybody pretends like it didn't really change. I mean, do we have to talk about buying indulgences in the Catholic Church when Pope Pius was like fucking children coming out of cakes and stuff? Do we have to talk about how that wasn't okay? Science has made massive mistakes. Science has been manipulated, the whole autism thing. Science has been manipulated by people, charlatans, just like religion has been manipulated. But true science that has, you know, the proper scientific method, the proper critical thinking, and then it has other, you know, confirmation studies, which, by the way, nobody wants to do anymore because they're not sexy, they don't make headlines. Nobody wants to do the secondary study that backs up the first study. They just want to report that out that says fat makes you unhealthy, and then everybody gets rid of fat, and then SnackWells and everything else drives America into an epidemic of obesity because eating fat is a bad thing, but sugar's fine. Yeah. In the works, they'll expand your life. Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, probably time for us to go here pretty soon, but I'm glad we're talking about this because these are things that I normally can't talk about, and y'all seem like you're kind of open to at least having a conversation. I openly admit that I always have more to learn and experience, and something about the sunset really calms me down. It helps me reconnect with the divine, if you will, whatever you want to call it. I do believe in the divine. Do I think it's an angry white guy with 25,000 wives? No, I don't. But I do definitely believe in the divine. I do believe that there's something divine about our existence. And I truly believe that. Do I believe in Armageddon? No. I believe that if there was going to be an Armageddon, we're going to make it happen. Humanity, according to the archaeological record, has wiped itself out more than once. And by the way, we're showing all the signs. Nikola Tesla, he's pretty interesting. Did you see it? Elon Musk was asked directly if Nikola Tesla would have ever made it been hired by Tesla, and he said no, probably not, because the HR process is so screwed up. I thought that was funny. I thought that one was pretty funny. Well, I sure hope. I love having a conversation with y'all here. I mean, we're in the just chatting category, so guess what? You get a lot of just chatting from me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. The crate filter. It is kind of a filter, isn't it? Only one ad. Colorado River is almost dry, yes. Still a little bit of residuals coming on. God, this is just such a great sunset day. I've been spending an unusually large amount of time here tonight. I am gonna go skate a little bit. Not a lot though tonight, because I skated a lot last night. Yeah, the whole water thing is gonna be a big deal, man. Have you ever, John, have you ever seen how the Colorado River gets like, it gets like really, really low by the time the Colorado River doesn't ever make it to the ocean. There's a documentary I watched on that. It's amazing. It's pretty amazing considering that, like, you know, I lived in Utah, and I used to river run on it. Oh, I know. I actually could totally swim right now. I could. I did once. The first time I came out here, I actually jumped in. I did. The first time I came out here, I jumped in. They're like, you should do it. I'm like, okay. I will definitely jump in. I just have to remember to wear a suit next time. Actually, I have to the more important thing is I got to put something on my seats. If I can put something on my seats so I can get in while I'm wet, I'll jump in and then I'll just dry out while I go skate. Yeah, I am totally okay with that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it today though. The first time I did it, I was so scared because I didn't know what was under there. Okay, so rule number one of jumping off anything, know what you're jumping onto. No, there's no gators here. No, they've caught, no, not here. They've definitely caught, what are the other things? They look like gators, but they're not. Oh, what are they? They're kind of small. And most of them were owned by they're pets that people owned and they got free. Who does that, by the way? You know, it's crazy. I don't know if I would do that. No, not Crocs. Crocs are Africa. Caimans. You guys know what a Cayman is? Y'all know what a Cayman? They're Caimans, yeah. Yeah, David got it. Yeah, they're Cayman. They've caught 2 Cayman in here. Yeah. But in both cases, they traced the Cayman to homeowners. And they escaped and they got on the lake. Yeah. The thing you want to watch out for is the gar. How do you say that? Is it gar or gore? Yeah, I used to go out in the Gulf of California. Not anymore. Not anymore. Do you guys know what gore are? There's these fish. There's an area where I used to paddleboard. They call it Gar Cove. They're scary fish, man. Have you ever seen one? I know. Have you ever seen it? Is it a gar or a gore? I can't remember. It is. They're these fish that have these jaws that just have spikes on them, and they eat other fish. And there's a place that we paddleboard in here that's called Gore Cove, because it's like really shallow water. It's got a lot of sun. Yeah. And they'll, you just don't, I wouldn't want to, they will bite you, but only if you like, they're not like piranha. They're not going to come attack you. They'd be more afraid of you. The most dangerous thing in this lake, Gar, yeah. The most dangerous thing in this particular lake is the lake itself. We've had people die from brain-eating amoebas. The lake itself gets too warm, so, and it's not really, you know, it causes problems because and it's got really high chemical content. Alligator garbo oh my gosh. Just cut the line. You've actually caught one? Wow. That is so cool. Oh man, I can't imagine pulling that thing in. I cannot imagine what it would be like pulling that in. Oh, that's just terrifying. There's a part of me that does like fishing. We did a team building activity when I worked at Nike in Oregon, and we went out and we did deep sea fishing. Yeah, we did. We went out fishing, and we went off the coast, right? Just to the point where you get to the big waves and stuff. And the fish that we were pulling in, oh my gosh. We were catching, it was crazy because it's right at the confluence to where the Hood River comes out. And so you get freshwater. So we'd be catching freshwater salmon 1 second, and then another second we'd be catching, I have not heard of the kangaroo. No, not yet. I do not know what that is. I don't know if I want to hear about that. That seems pretty scary. The scariest thing though is the water itself, because all of their $1 million homes, all of the nitrogen and everything from their lawn drains into the lake, so it's bad. And the boats themselves, most of the people that die on the lake get chopped up by boats. They get really drunk and they try to water ski and they get chopped up. Lots of people die every year just from boating accidents. All the time. Most of the people who die on the lake die from boating accidents. Oh, they're attracted to urine? Oh, that sounds terrifying. Don't pee in the lake. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. I'm never going to be able to go into... Is there any in this lake? I really don't want to go... Don't tell me that. I mean, I used to go out on the ocean. Dude, North Carolina, the coast of North Carolina has more shark attacks than any other state in America. Yeah. We should go to the aquarium. Oh, it's only the Amazon? Oh, it's terrifying. The Amazon is like the Super Bowl of animals. Alright, it's time for me to go. I'm gonna go skate a little bit. I mean, it's like the Amazon in Arizona is kind of the same. Arizona is like, you know, yeah. Beautiful night though. Beautiful night. Uh-oh, we're getting some bitrate problems. We're getting some bitrate problems there. I don't know what happened with that. Leave it to Bezos. Lol. Scary stuff at Amazon. Lol. Hey, I can do the selfie thing. Here. God damn it. Does that work? Stop it. How about that? How about that? No? It's this cable. This cable's too strong now. You should see all the tape I put on the cable. Alright. Where are we going? Alrighty. There's some bad bit rate right here. Right in this spot, there's some bad bit rate, so you might get some fuzz. Otherwise, it's been pretty good. I'm gonna turn you guys up so I can hear you again. Oh fuck! I mean, something else. I'm trying not to swear, I swear. I am trying really hard to become respectable again. I am! I'm trying and failing. Alright. Put you there. I'll take you off. See, I can take you off now. I need to do a dance. Ouch. You see this cable? It's a 10-foot cable now. Yes, I expanded. I did, I expanded. I got a 10-foot cable now. Alright. God help me if I ever like slam it in the door or something. How's that? That good? I don't know how far we're driving. Not too far though, because I can't drive. This is like whatever. Our bit rate hasn't been too bad. Not been too bad. It's been perfect, but yep. If you have to go, I understand. It's been nice. It's been nice hanging out with everybody. The rest of the night, I'm just gonna go exercise a little bit. I'm gonna go do a little bit of skateboarding. I'm probably gonna go to Lowe's parking lot just because it's close, and I don't want to be out too late tonight. I do have some like skates coming soon, and I'm looking forward to that because that's gonna do a lot of leg stuff. When I can do like a leg workout as well as like the upper body kind of stuff from paddling. But yeah, sunset's becoming kind of a tradition. I really like it. I really like it. I like having our conversations. You know, I get really emotional when we have these conversations, but I'm kind of glad that I can do it, and I hope other people have an opportunity to work through these emotions that they're going through right now. Because, you know, if you just sit there and let it fester inside of you, then you become, I think that's when people start to get more passionate and militant, whatever you want to call it. I think when people can't work through the feelings that they're having, that's when things get bad. And then they just get angry, you know? I heard some people talking about some things the other day. I won't say what stream, but the way they were talking about it, I just took a note of it and I changed the channel, and I was like, I never ever want people to talk that way. I want to promote active conversation about, you know, as respectful as we can be, about this stuff, and not talk the way they were. The tone of exchange as it was going on was just so bad, and I was like, I don't want that. I want to do everything I can to make people talk more. How's it going, MV? Super late. Trying to get those emotions. Yeah, they fester. They do. They fester, and they become toxic. And, you know, the science of it, though, I want to be clear on something. I actually read something about psychology. I like psychology because I'm crazy. There's multiple ways that I'm crazy that I won't get into. But I am really fascinated by how the mind works. And one of the biggest myths that people say is, oh, just get it out of your system. And that is a lie. It's one thing to discuss, to talk through an issue. It's another one to just get it off your chest. The idea of expressing something and getting angry just to get it out of your chest, off of your chest, and allowing yourself to get really, really angry, you know, the medicine on it says that it will actually contribute to an escalation of anger, and you will become more angry, and then you'll get more angry and more angry. And I mean, crazy in a good way. I don't know if in a good way. I'm clinically crazy in a few ways that I haven't been diagnosed for, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, full disclosure, I did spend a full week in a mental institution once upon a time. That is a story all by itself. If you want to know that story, it's fundamentally related to my leaving the Mormon church. Morpheus tells Neo, I have to apologize. Why, Morpheus? Why? We have a rule. Past a certain age, we never unplug a child past a certain age. The mind can't handle it. That was me. I'm not Neo. And they unplugged me. I got unplugged, and I had passed a certain age. And it about broke me. It did. It came very close to ruining me forever. I'm so glad I survived it. Front row, yeah. I mean, I can talk about it now, but it was a major thing. While I was in there, I did like a full-on Ted Kaczynski without going violent. I wrote a 30-page manifesto. I still have it somewhere. I should read that. That would be compelling content. Seriously, I wrote like a 30-page, not really a manifesto, it was more of a thing. I wrote a 30-page, I told them, I said I didn't want drugs. The first night they gave me drugs knocked me out completely. And the next night I said, please don't give me drugs. I want to be able to think through this. And so they gave me paper. I sat there and I wrote for like 2 or 3 full days over Easter weekend, by the way. And I just kept writing. That's why, and so I have that somewhere. I have that 20, 30 pages of writing that I did. It feels like it was 20, 30 pages. Maybe it was less. And I should read it. I should actually read it every April Fool's Day, because I'm not even kidding. I was in the mental institution on April Fool's Day because it was right around Easter. I remember because I was looking through the gates and I could smell the vomit near the window because it was where the phone was, the only phone, so people would go there and they would puke, and they just could never clean up the smell. I'll never forget, I was looking out the window and I was looking through barred gates, and there was beautiful blossoms on the trees, you know, popcorn popping, like we used to sing in the Mormon church. And all I could smell was vomit because it was right by where the phone was. And I just remember looking out and thinking, everybody else is celebrating this wonderful Easter weekend and April Fool's Day coming up, and I was in there, and I lost everything. My wife cleaned me out. She took all my money away. She took everything because I cheated on her. Yeah, it's a long story. It's a long story. I need to write a book about it, actually. Remember I've been saying I want to write? I want to write a fictional tale called There and Never Back Again that's actually mostly my life, being in the Mormon church and getting out of the Mormon church. But I want to write it in a way that the things of the story are represented through fantasy. That's my idea for a book. That's my idea for a book. Because I have written lots and lots of dungeons. I've written Dungeons and Dragons material before, and I really love fantasy. And the book would be called There and Never Back Again. And it would be basically my entire life, how I survived, how I got out of everything. And I would have some sort of creature or event that is metaphorically associated with the stuff that I went through. And you know, you could have fun. Once you knew that it was about my leaving the Mormon church, but it was a fantasy and it was all just metaphor, then you could. Am I driving a stick shift? No, it looks like it, but it's not. That's what I want to do. I want to do it, and then that way, you know, people could have fun who know how it was written. They could look at the thing and they could figure out, well, what does this thing represent, you know? And I could use all the symbology and the language, and I can have fun writing a fantasy book and developing a culture and all the great stuff that I love about Lord of the Rings. And at the same time, I could still tell my story. And so, but it would actually be a story about, like, a good premise for a book. I think it would be fun. It would also be extremely cathartic for me to write it. It would be like writing a memoir, but without writing a memoir. It would also not be directly attacking the Mormons. And I think that other people could maybe relate. So there's been people in Scientology and, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses and Catholicism. There's been people all over the place who have had to break free of their, you know, their demons or their, whatever the controlling structures have been. And they've had to figure out a way to do it. And it wouldn't be just as so cliche as writing a book about, you know, it wouldn't just be a book about, oh, hey, you know, this hobbit's in a cult. That's not, no, that's like too simple. And that's why I would have so much fun writing it, because I would have most of the writing would be the creative endeavor of coming up with, you know, symbolism and metaphor for all of the stuff that happens, you know, and that's the stuff that I really latch on to. I really love literature for that thing. I don't read a lot of literature lately. I think I'd be more of a screenplay writer these days. If I were to actually become a writer, but this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And the book, I mean, the you know, I could take that 30 pages that I wrote while I was, you know, kind of down, and I could take all of that and I could put it back. It's really too bad because the best part of the book, my ex-wife ripped it out. I'm not kidding. My ex-wife took my journal, the journal that I was keeping while I was losing my faith. I was writing down in my journal, I don't believe any of this anymore, but I'm here because there's a good community and I support my family and I want to do all this, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff, I wrote it down meticulously. Every Sunday during that 3 hours or so, I would fill that journal full of stuff so that I could stay sane. And I was saying, I love my family. I'm sitting here holding my wife's hand. I love her so deeply and everything. Eventually, it all went to shit. But I was writing about it. And she after the divorce, she took that exact same journal And she ripped it out. There's another journal that I wrote that she completely burned and didn't get back to me. There was a journal, though, that she did get back to me, and she ripped out half of the pages, and all of the other pages, I will show you. She took a red pen, and she just shit over all of the things that I wrote in that journal. She sit there, and she goes, oh, and now about this. Oh, look at you now. Oh, blah, blah, blah. She was just making fun of my journal. It was like the worst, the worst thing you could possibly do. I could not believe that she was capable of it, but then of course, you know, she's capable of a lot of things because she felt like she was totally justified and that she had been ruined because I cheated on her. I mean, so she felt like everything was justified. And if you're a Mormon, that's a big deal. You know, I go straight to hell. She did. I'll show you the book. I still have it. Dude, this woman was so emotionally abusive, but so was I. The problem was that we both didn't know why we were so abusive to each other, because we were stuck in this fucking cult that was giving us all of these unnecessary, unrealistic expectations. She didn't want to be a mom. She didn't want to be a mom. But you know, God told the white men in the Mormon church that all women should be mothers and the men should worry about the money. If you don't believe me, go read the Proclamation on the Family in the Mormon scriptures right now. That's exactly what it says. I'm not exaggerating. All right, I gotta skate. I'm getting mad. I gotta skate. I gotta get this out of my system. Like this guy, oh my God, this guy. This is why I have to write a book about it and make it fun. If I write a book about it and I make it fun, you know, I think we're gonna have to do a head mount on this, actually. Yeah. I'm gonna try a head mount here. I'm gonna try a head mount. Yeah. I don't know how much we're gonna actually skate tonight, because every time I say that, I end up skating for like 2 hours. I'm not kidding. It's like I always say, oh, I'm not going to skate. I forgot my mic tonight, so there's going to be lots of wind noise. I'm sorry about that too. Normally if I bring my mic, it stops the wind noise, but no mic tonight. No mic is in the house. We'll just open those so we can go get a drink before. Oh shit. God damn it. This is why I have like 100 of these little things, because I keep dropping them. Yes, I need a better quick release system. I don't know which one to get yet. It's a big commitment. I've got like 3 different quick releases. They all suck. Alright. Alright. How are we going to do this? Are you still there? You're still there, yeah? It's just noisy. I mean, this is the first time I've done this since I have the new setup, so it should just be noisy. It shouldn't. That should be it, because I've taped this. I really taped it up well, you know. So it should be okay. Okay. Oh God. What was that? Why are there cherries on the ground here? I kind of like just parking right in this parking lot. That's kind of nice because we don't have to go back over to the other one, right? I should probably go buy something from them, but it's too expensive. It's like $6 a day if I keep doing it. Noisy as hell. And then you're running around. It is pretty noisy. I apologize. But you know what? It's, if I have my mic, it's not noisy because I put the mic on and then, oh shit! I just I just banged you into the car. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad streamer. I am a horrible streamer. I'm just gonna tell you. Seriously, I am so bad. I am so bad. I mean, I guess I'll learn eventually, but like, oh wait, don't do that, don't do that. Okay, do that. I'm kind of happy though. This so far so good. I like linear. I think linear is the way to go. All right, so I turn you guys up. All right, you guys can talk now. Yeah, dude, skating clears my head, keeps your mind off other stuff. Yeah, quietest. I know what you're talking about. Whether okay, so I have two forms of skating now. Yeah, I have my what's that? Oh, that's me talking. I thought, who's that? Sounds a lot like me. It is me. I have hockey skates coming. They're so cool. They have like natural rocking in them, so it makes them feel like the actual ice skates. I'm gonna okay, I have a question. That just makes me look like a customer. This is what we were supposed to come get water, but we could not get water because there's no water. So I'm just here to skate. My skateboard is taking off. Where are you going? No, please don't skate on me. Okay, guess what I found today? There's mounts. There's GoPro mounts. The reason I got a 10-foot thing, I can mount you on the skateboard. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it. Don't worry, I'm not leaving that there. I'm gonna mount you on the skateboard. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna mount you on the skateboard. Yeah, there's a skateboard mount that's like, it's not even that much money. It's like, and it's made for the GoPro, and I have enough cable to do it now. So that's coming. I don't know, I didn't order it yet, but I saw that and I thought, oh. I'm gonna get a drink of water. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. It's fun. It's fun, MB. You'd probably have fun with it, MB. It's really fun. You know, and pretty much everybody can longboard. If you have a paddle, it's even more fun because if you're gonna fall, you can like break your fall and stuff. This place is awesome. Hey, hi. Do you have a drinking fountain? I'll be back for beer tomorrow. So. Down there. Okay. Yeah, longboarding's just, it's chill. It's just more chill.
Skating. Same would love to learn to cruise.
Yeah. It's not that hard. Restrooms, I've never been down here. I don't know what this is about. Oh, drinking. I've never been down here, but these guys are gonna get money from me every week. because I'm gonna go to the beer tasting. Before we leave, let me just show everybody. So on Fridays, this store, this is the only store in the region where you can, look, check the carts out. You can actually drink while you shop. You can drink while you shop in this place. I'm not kidding. It's insane. All right, let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. So.
I considered getting a one-wheel.
A one-wheel? Oh, those are cool too. Look at all this. They have everything here. They have everything here. They have all the local stuff. They have an entire fridge. They have an entire fridge that has its own door. Look at this. You can actually go in here and buy a keg. and it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. See this? Look.
That's Rubber Dam.
Yeah. On Fridays they have a testing. On Fridays they have a testing.
I'm from Vegas, so alcohol restrictions
Oh, I know. I was from Utah. Believe me, I know. So they have this.
Intercesting.
Yeah. No, it's not self-service. That back there is you have to go get it, right? But they're about to close. Oops.
That's no way in.
Gosh dang it. My freak phone went off. I'll be back for Friday. Friday is your tasting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like your beer tasting. I cannot wait. My first time. So look guys, look. So on Fridays, they're called flights. They're flights. So they're like, you get to sample everything. You get to sample all the local breweries every Friday. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? So I'm like, I gotta burn all the calories so I can come back on Friday and eat them all back up, drink them all back up. Of course, not being Mormon anymore. You know what I mean? Let me fix my phone. I don't know what's up. I mean,
something like that here.
Do they have that?
Thing. That's fucking lit.
I don't even know what flights are. What is a flight? What is a flight, everybody? My watch is all screwed up. Why are you screwed up? Why are you screwed up? It's not letting me change it. It turned my timer on automatically, and I don't. Oh, there we go. All right, so it's
just a small tray of beer samples.
It is? Hey, should we do like a workout for once? Let's do a workout. Let's do a workout. I didn't do this before. Let's do it. Let's like see if it keeps my heart rate up. How about that? I didn't do this before. I'm gonna try it this time.
Kickflip PLS.
PLS? They're playing Cyndi Lauper on the radio. Kickflip, do a kickflip. Do a kickflip. It's like a meme to say that. I can't kickflip. It's a longboard. You know how hard it is to kickflip?
Kickflip almost impossible on longboard.
I know, it's tough. People do it, but not me. No, I don't do it. I just paddle.
XD.
Yeah, sorry for the wind noise. I forgot my mic. I have a dead cat that keeps the wind noise down, but I don't have it with me right now. Should we go drive past the Tesla charging places? Tesla charging happening. Oh shit, I missed. If you miss, it's dangerous. Oh God, I gotta stretch too, my legs are killing me. Tesla charging station. Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip!
Cut all the charging cables, Elmo.
We had the security person over at Costco the other day, like making friends with us. He's like, what are you doing here? We saw a fox the other night too. What am I doing? I'm paddling my longboard for health and benefit, which is really good for your upper body. Really good. And then I have hockey skates. I'm gonna start wearing my hockey skates to do lower body workout. Yes, I actually have to get outside and do something fun to stay healthy.
Look like you could get some speed going the other way.
Oh, you can.
And PSL more EVs than Tesla.
Oh yeah, here we go. Woo! I don't want to get going so fast that I need pads. The thing about having a paddle like this is this big old rubber end. I can use it as a brake. I can use it as a brake. So if I get going too fast downhill, I can slalom and then use it as a brake. Oh my God, it smells like pot. It smells like pot. They're definitely smoking the ganja. Smoking the ganja for sure right there. Oh.
grip.
I know the light's kind of bad here, but
Buff friend.
smoking the ganja.
Sounds like you just got catcalled. Also hi.
Yeah, I get catcalled pretty frequently. Okay. This is such... Can you see the shadow? That's what I'm saying. I'm getting stronger though, I can actually feel it. Because I've been doing this for a week or so now. Getting it back. I'm getting it back. There's some downhill for you right here. Should we bomb this for a rest? Go by those guys again. This is where it gets windy. Skateboard. This is uphill right here. And here's our store. Oh. Yeah, baby. Go see if there's anybody eating at the sushi place. I can't wait to get the camera for the board. I think that'll be fun. Another uphill coming here. Oh, that was a good one. I feel like everything's closed. That's that sushi place. We gotta go there. Let's go behind this place. Go behind it. That place has got great sushi. In fact, the sushi chef there taught me how to do sushi. I used to go there so much when I was single. He would teach me how to make my own sushi. He told me where to go to get the sashimi grade tuna. he told me where to buy the
rise of apartment complex.
rice.
Prefer it over suburb.
Yeah, I like apartment complexes. Yeah. You know what? I haven't skated a suburb. We should do that. That's a good. What are gas prices? $4.56 for gas. Gas prices $4.56 today.
Ring the bell.
Do you remember that? Somebody's been watching. There's like a bell here. We need to make a moat for this.
Closed as gas station 2.
There we go. I'm not gonna.
Didn't know that. Bell. Here it's 5:56.
5:56, really? I wonder if you could skate in between here. Haven't tried it yet. Jeremy?
Send me some gas. It's pointed at an LA tier club.
There's nobody here. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Definitely not good skating. It's the closest thing to a kickflip I'll ever do. Off the curve. Alright, speed. Aerodynamic. Aerodynamic.
Pace of the runs. This area just looks like fun to scatty at this hour.
Yeah. At this hour it's fun. It's like a big skate park. Oh, Jimmy's is open. Can we go get pizza? Should we go get pizza? Both of these. I think both of these places are open. Oh, they just closed, 10 o'clock. Just closed. Land paddle. Land shark. Who is it? Land shark. Who? Land shark. Who? Land shark. Okay, who is this? Ding dong. Who is it? Land shark. Who? Land shark. Jimmy, is this you again? Land shark. That's a Dan Aykroyd classic right there. That is a Dan Aykroyd classic.
Sub sound.
What'd you say? New sub sound. Land shark. Oh, I just got to stare. Somebody just they literally put their hand to the glass. Like, what the fuck? Land shark. We need to do land shark because nobody will get it. It'll be like a filter. It'll be. I'll go back to the apartments. Maybe our Ross Tagansha friends will be gone. Oh yeah. Oh baby. We should make a bot that just says ding dong. And then we'll have people guess what the command is. And they'll be like exclamation point, who is it? Exclamation point, answer door. And we can make a bot that does land shark. Land shark. Kind of goes with land paddling, you know. Oh my god, I'm earning this right here. Somebody's doing fireworks already. I mean, Coneheads, classic.
Ding dong snipe people with a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah. Ding dong. Who's there? Land shark. Nobody knows what we're talking about. Someone create a clip. Not a clip. Someone post a link to the YouTube land shark video.
So this is the immortal terminal master.
Is that what they say? Am I truly immortal? Hey, why don't somebody post a link to the land shark skit just for fun, for entertainment purposes, because I can't. Land shark. I'll make a command for it. I'll make a command for it. We need to make a meme for land shark. Like, what is a land shark, you know? What constitutes a land shark? Like, if we see, like, instead of having like a booba, instead of booba, we can have like land shark. Oh, there's people, there's people. One way, really? Okay. One way or another.
Get depressed these days. If not, how do you avoid it?
How do I avoid depression? You're looking at it, baby. Get outside, do something physical. Biggest, most generally prescribed way to beat depression. Go outside, breathe some good oxygen, do something physical, with or without people. If you want to, you can pray. And your prayer might take the form of, God, you motherfucker, why am I blah blah blah. That's how I pray. Sorry for the swear word, but that's the honest truth. That's the God's honest truth. That's how most of my prayers start.
And when not bad feels, don't get mad, get busy.
Don't get mad, get busy. Absolutely. That's what the WhatsApp guys did. Facebook said, no, we don't want to hire you, you suck. Because you learned Erlang. 5 years later, they make WhatsApp and Erlang and sell it to Facebook for $10 million. Multi-millionaires overnight. They didn't get mad, they got busy. They got busy. Don't get depressed, get busy. Don't get mad, get busy. You want another way to get depressed? Stop getting depressed? Do something for somebody else. Seriously. Go to like a soup kitchen, or like I used to when I was depressed from my divorce. Go do the mothers and children's shelter. Like volunteer someplace. Go, like, forget about yourself for a bit. Get out. Depression at the end of the day, yes, it's clinical, but a lot of depression is selfishness. Because it's just a pity party. You know, and not all of it. Some of it's clinical. I don't want to categorize everybody as being, you know, narcissistic pity party people. But whether or not it's medical or it's not, forgetting about yourself and doing something for somebody else, forcing yourself to do something for somebody else, is always good. Another thing, this is clinically proven to make you happier, by the way. Smile.
Self-aggression.
Как это? Что ты спросил? Как у меня идет русский язык? Да, я еще говорю по-русски немножко. Очень много забыл. Smile. I'm not kidding, people. Smile. Medically, it's medically proven. If you force yourself to smile, your body doesn't know the difference. those muscles will trigger dopamine reactions. Even if you don't feel like smiling at all, force yourself to smile, and that will fight depression. You take it from a guy who's been massively depressed. I'm not saying I have all the answers. A lot of them you got to go get clinical help for.
So is music.
Music, of course, yeah. Depends on the music, though. You don't... I listened to Linkin Park for a week, and I thought I was going to kill myself. What I've done. And then I changed to Jack Johnson, and I was like, I'm happy now. Seriously, music is like an amplifier. Music just amplifies emotion, depending on what the emotion is. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, sad songs, you know, they feel so good. Sometimes it feels good to have your heart broken. It's kind of weird. But sometimes it feels good. And then you get over it, and you move on. Plenty of fish in the sea. I know, I married one. That's where...
Depressing music to treat depression, El Malo.
Yeah. Yeah, don't listen to like Marilyn Manson or, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, people say, oh, get it out of your system and make you, get it out, you know. That's not been my experience. When I listen to the anger music and the depressing music, to me it just amplifies those emotions, even if I'm trying to overcome them. So, I deliberately forced myself to listen to nothing but happy, shiny music. And it was kind of cringe, it was so happy, shiny, but it worked. It totally worked. Listening to that music, learning it on the guitar, getting outside, getting some exercise, connecting with other people who were also depressed, who were helping others at soup kitchens. I went to, regional conferences on how to do charity work of all kinds. I went to a lot of them. I used to go to tons of different churches. People say, what church do you go to? I say, whatever one is doing the most boots on the ground work. I don't care about the church. I went to the Hindu temple, I went to the Christian church, I went to all of them. I was like, what activities do you have that are helping people? I'd say, fine, sign me up. And I would sign up for that. I didn't give a shit about their dogma. I was like, what are you actually doing? What are you doing? What are your activities to do all this? Instead of just dancing to some live music or kirtan or whatever the fuck. What are you actually doing to relieve suffering in the world? And I would sign up with those people. Didn't care who it was. In fact, there was a Church of Satan. They're doing all kinds of amazing things. It's crazy, but they were. And I went to all of them. I don't care. My wife Doris makes fun of me because I used to call it service. What's your religion? I'd say my religion is service. And she's like, what's service? And I said, service is the word we used to cover all those hours that we spent in the service of others. She goes, you have a word for that? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, otherwise, how are you going to count your service hours? She goes, wait, you count your service hours? I'm like, well, yeah, we had to have so many service hours, in order to pass this thing in Scouts or do this other thing. And to her, she's just shaking her head. She's like, that is so foreign to me. Why do you have to have a word for it? Why do you have to quantify it? Why do you have to count how many hours of it? Why don't you just do it and relieve yourself from all that pressure? And she was right. That's why I married her.
Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Flying Spaghetti Monster. If the Flying Spaghetti Monster is helping young, confused, pregnant women right now try to figure out what to do with their life. And by the way, note I didn't say get an abortion. I said make a decision that's right for them in the most desperate time of their life. If this Flying Spaghetti Monster said, we need to put money and resources toward helping these women feel loved under any circumstance, I'm going to cry again. I would be there. I would join that church in a fucking heartbeat. If they said, well, we have a $10 dues, I'd say, I think fine, let's do it. Whatever it takes. Because right now, I can't talk about it. Right now, there's probably tens of thousands of women. There's probably tens of thousands of women in the most desperate of circumstances. And right now, they're feeling like nobody cares about them. That's the only thing they're thinking right now. They might look angry, but they're scared and they're depressed. And I have a sister, they have 5 sisters, and they went through a lot. I haven't kept touch with any of them, but they went through it. They didn't go through abortions, but they went through a lot of really tough times when they were young. Young women have some of the most confusing situations that they have to face, way more than men. Men have to go through their own thing. We have toxic masculinity we have to fight with, but we don't have to deal with menstruation.
We don't have to deal with potentially getting pregnant. We don't have to deal with all that. And right now, those women are hurting. And that just rips my heart apart.
Canada's welcoming them with open arms.
I know that Canada is, and there's a lot of people in the world who are. But this ruling, if nothing more, look, I know I told you I'm not against certain forms of abortion. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you know what? All those women in desperation right now, the only thing that they hear is they don't care about me. That's all they hear. Because there's no, at the same time that they're saying, hey, you can't do this. I'm gonna get run over here. At the same time they're saying, hey, you can't do this, you're a bad person. They're not saying, but let us help you. Let us help you find an alternative. There's nobody talking about that. Nobody's talking about the Christian mercy or what Jesus would do. Nope. They could give a shit. Right now, they're just celebrating their victory. Do you think they really care about those women? Jesus had a saying for those people. Get thee hence, for I never knew thee. That's what Jesus would say to them. Jesus would welcome those women, those troubled women with open arms and find a solution for them. That's what Jesus would do. Jesus did it with the harlot. He did it with lots of other people. Tax collectors. God, the whole New Testament is just an open book showing all the love and unconditional compassion that Jesus had for everybody. And right now, there's a certain population that claims to follow Christ. And Jesus is going to look at them in the eye, if that's true, if it turns out to be true. I don't know. He's going to say, get thee hence, Satan, for I never knew thee. That's what he's going to say. What did you do to relieve the suffering of these women? Instead of standing on a picket line, calling them whores and sluts and shit, instead of like trying to relate to them and find some compassionate way to connect with these human beings, you're finding some way to judge them. Get thee fucking hence, oh sons of children of iniquity. That's what Jesus is going to say to those shitty Christians who claim to be acting in Jesus' name. They don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about those women. They just love their victory. So yeah, if the Flying Spaghetti Monster formed an organization, this is perfect for my, it's charging me up. Don't get mad, get busy. I got stuff in my system I got to get out. Emotional stuff I have to work out. I'm sure you all have some too. I'm sorry if I'm too emotional, but that's what I do. Even if I wasn't talking to anyone, I would be talking to myself right now. God, there's a real part of me that hopes Jesus is real. I hope Jesus is real because I tell you what, if Jesus did come back to earth, most of the people who claim to be Christ followers, it would be the first people he sends to fucking hell. They would be the first people. They care more about their guns and caring for people in their most tragic, horrible position of their life and showing them mercy in one of the most toughest positions and times in their life. They would much rather have their guns voted in. Most of those people are just confused. I'm not even going to judge them. They're confused. I don't know who's done it, but somebody has sold them a bill of goods. And if you believe in the devil, that's what the devil's selling right now. It's more important to be right and to beat down those in the greatest of need. Okay, I feel better. I feel better.
Because modern Christianity is monetarily driven.
It is. And what did Jesus do to those who were driven by money? The only time Jesus ever got violent in the entire New Testament, when was it? Name that too.
It's more of a social thing.
When is the only time Jesus got violent? The only time. See if you know your Christianity. He didn't even get violent with the Sadducees. He just made fun of them behind their back, kind of, by saying things they never understand because they didn't have the spirit to comprehend it. The only time Jesus ever lost his shit, and some say he did it in a controlled manner, so it wasn't anger, is when the money changers, the greedy people, were in his temple. And whether you believe in that literally or you believe in it metaphorically, the message is the same. The greatest evil in our world is unchecked greed. Unchecked greed. lusting after filthy lucre. I'm not saying money's bad, money's essential. But when you lust after it and you put it ahead of everything else, whether you know it or not, you are doing the thing that Jesus...
Left the donation bucket or something.
Yeah. Jesus got the most angry. Jesus got them...
I forgot.
Yeah. The only time... And so all these people that are buying assault weapons and all kinds of different things in the name of Christianity...
Take the sword will perish by the sword.
Perish by the sword. Exactly. Exactly. Same thing. You look at all the other people. How did Jesus go into the night? He didn't fight his way with a whole bunch of guns. I'm not against guns. Guns are great. They're fun. I like to shoot. I think that certain people should have guns all the time. I think that I'm not against them. It's not even guns versus abortion. That's not even really what it is. What it is greed. The source of all of that evil is greed. If you look at every cult that was ever formed, at the center core of it is greed. Greed and narcissism. Every single one.
We have a lot of that going on now.
Yes, we do.
That is why cost of living is 400% higher than it should be.
Yep.
Medical is 1,000% higher. Bill spending is 800% higher.
People are dying from, they can't get insulin shots in this country. You think Jesus approves of that? The problem is that so many people...
Inflation is 90% unchecked runaway profit.
Yeah.
What
Oil.
transport do you use? What's in your arms?
Oil doesn't need any of that money, but they're charging it because they can. Because unchecked capitalism fails every time. Every 45 years. Go look at Saving Capitalism. It's actually pro-capitalism, but it talks about the cycle of capitalism. Every 42 years or so, capitalism resets. And every time it resets, it's always ugly. And we're headed for a reset. And in 2009, everybody knew we were going to hit the reset. Because 2009 didn't fix the capitalist reset. It didn't. It just kicked it down the road. And this is it. This is it coming around again. If you think for a second that any of those investment banks learned a single lesson in all that, you're mistaken. Because they're doing it all over again. Stock market, greed, e-coin. Bitcoin is one of the biggest manifestations of false, you know, good in the name of greed.
Robert Reich.
Robert Reich, yep. Yep, Robert Reich. Go watch it. Capitalism is the best we got, but it's not correct, and it has to correct itself. And every time it corrects itself, you know why it has to correct itself? Because the money gets separated and it stratifies again. It's a cycle. It's been happening forever. Whether the capital is stock like animals.
Really push yourself on a skate like on a boat. Really smart.
No, it's just, I've been doing this for a while. It's called the Kahuna
Stock
Big.
market is 25K points higher than it should be.
Yeah. It happens every time. Whether Robert Reich talks about how capitalism has had, the capital and capitalism is different every time. Sometimes the capital was human during slavery. The Civil War was one of the collapses of one of the forms of capitalism because the capital in the world was the form of slavery. And before that it was money. It's been stock. There's times when it was land. So the failed capitalism states in the early days where everybody held land, the capital was land ownership. So the thing about capitalism, this Robert Reich, you watch him, he'll tell you all about it. Capitalism is...
Housing is 1 digit longer than it should be.
Yeah. So capitalism just keeps correcting itself. And the form of capital is always different. And there's another great video called The Second Industrial Age. And it's talking about how the biggest capitalist correction is coming with...
Mostly Roman.
Yeah. The next capitalist correction is going to be the big one that we might not survive, is going to be oil. Because right now, capital is not even really money. The biggest form of capital right now is oil ownership. The people who control the oil control the world. If you look at the number of, you know, I mean, I don't have to tell you, right? The people that own the oil have more money than like 80% of the rest of the world. There's like 10 or 15 of them, and they're mostly in Saudi Arabia. They are the feudal society today. And this other, I forget his name, he's talking about the second industrial age is going to break it's going to break oil dependency, and that is going to rock the ship on our entire economic storefront. Some people would say that we're already starting to see that right now, that Russia's involvement with the oil and resources is starting to trigger the oil capital fail, because we also have a bunch of other things happening at the same time. We have electrical independence, stuff like that. So we have electricity, and that's providing a different alternative to oil. So it's rocking the boat on the oil thing. We have people playing "this is mine, you can't have it" with oil, like Russia has been doing. It's not really Russia's fault. Russia's just kind of triggering it, And we also have the Great Resignation, which is, and this guy in the Second Industrial Revolution, he talks about this. He says that a big part of the new industrial age is going to be the sharing economy. And right now, I'm happy to say, you and me are participating in the new sharing economy. The new sharing economy is based on something called zero opportunity cost. It costs me almost nothing to do what I'm doing now. I mean, sure, I've been spending a lot of money on my camera and stuff, but relatively, the amount of opportunity I'm getting for such little investment here on Twitch is insane. And so this is a part of a new economy that's emerging, that's never existed before, that's being promoted and allowed by tech. The new sharing economy, and that's why people are resigning. They're getting a van, they're getting a Starlink, they're making the minimum to subsist, and they're going to the middle of Idaho. And they're living, and they're fine. The whole gig economy is a part of the sharing economy, kind of. And so this new emerging economy is kind of vying against the old industrial economy that's completely entirely oil capital based. And so we're starting to see the ripple effects of that. And so you have the political stuff going down, but then you have the wars that are messing with the oil. I mean, the reason the gas prices went down so far is on the wars. We just obliterated everybody that was messing with the oil. And whoever controls the oil, truly controls the oil, controls the base currency for the world. This was such a big problem, actually, that the G8 met without America. They did not invite America in 2008. I'm not kidding. In 2008, go read about it, the G8 met and they deliberately left out America. And they had an emergency meeting that says, what are we going to do about America? Because all of us are dependent on the dollar. Because the dollar was the primary number, the primary dollar, the primary unit associated with oil. And whoever controls that gets to print all their own money. Especially since Nixon destroyed everything in '76 when he said, hey, guess what, everybody? You don't need gold to back any dollar. And if you look at the pace of inflation and prices since the time we got off the gold standard kept us equal with everybody else. But as soon as we got off the gold standard, it was all bets are off. All bets are off. Whoever controlled the most important capital resource in the world, namely oil, all of a sudden got to make their own rules about money. And that meant they could print as many dollars as they wanted to, and they did. Oh, something's going wrong here. We'll have the Fed change the savings investment rate, and then we'll print more dollars. Because who gives a shit? We're the most important thing out there. And in fact, it was because of this emergency, this high dependence on the American dollar, that the G8 met without the United States in 2008. And they organized and discussed removing the dollar from the World Bank in the way that it was being dependent on. Because they don't want their countries to go down with America when we go down. The entire system goes to shit if Americans stop buying stuff. Americans consume, according to a documentary called Affluenza. Amazing, amazing documentary. It was made by the director, who almost died actually. And he made what's that? He did like Pet Detective and a bunch of other stuff. And he made this documentary about this thing called affluenza. And in there he cites statistics that show
The era of moving from fossil fuels has already started.
Yeah.
The shift to using batteries,
It is.
hydrogen, and thorium salt.
yes.
Why did they try to save the shitty situations? Care for the people or trying to save appearance?
Yeah. I don't know. But I do know that If America stops consuming at the current rate, the whole world economy dies.
Deliberately left Bush out of G8 cause he already partially controlled our oil.
Yeah, he did. But they're like, what are we going to do? This guy's too powerful. And not only that, he's going to war on his own. Bush thumbed his nose. He went to the United Nations and said, hey, can I go to war with these people over this humanitarian crisis? And they went, no, we call bullshit. No, you can't. And he said, fine, I'm doing it anyway. And it wasn't Bush who said it, it was Cheney who said it. And then they concocted the biggest lie that ever took us into any war. And they took us to war. And what did they get out of it? Full oil control. Cheney had Halliburton deployed a year and a half before they even talked about war. They had been planning that since they entered the White House. And when they went to the United Nations and said, you know, we want to do the right thing here. Look at, there's this humanitarian crisis. The United Nations kindly says, no, bullshit.
Mass destruction. Disgraceful.
Yeah, it was totally disgraceful, and it was the beginning. And at the end of the day, I mean, Bush, look at the Bush dynasty. They're all oil barons. Cheney is over Halliburton. He's a logistics guy. All the Bushes are over oil. Look, you can like George Bush and the Bushes as human beings. They're, you know, he's you know, as a person, he's not a horrible person, but he was operating under the, you know, whether he knew it or not, he was doing the bidding of the people who control the industrial oil complex, the base of all capital, and the reason that America is the leading capitalist society, the capitalist country, because we control the oil. You can say the Saudis control the oil, but they really don't, because they don't have anybody to sell it to. America is the biggest consumer of oil by far. And we consume, according to Shadyac, the director of the Affluenza documentary, Americans consume 7 times that of the rest of the world. In fact, if everybody consumed as much as Americans do, the world would be out of natural resources in 7 years if every single human consumed as much as Americans. Because we are entirely based on the consumer economy. And the thing that sucks is if we don't do it, the world dies. Because the entire world is based on us buying shit.
Saudi's oil is U.S. company mine.
Yeah.
Protected.
It is. And so if you're not buying your Tesla, you know, look, if you're not being a good American and going into debt and maintaining 10 to 20% of your income as debt, which is what pretty much all Americans have.
Yes, in Chandrilu.
Yeah. What? Oh wait, sorry. I got a problem here. Had a little problem there. Wait, I got a problem here. Yeah. Is the U.S. mined and protected? Yeah. Yeah, the Saudis have all the money, but it's mostly a front because the Americans are the ones using all the money. I mean, let's be real. You know. So, look, I love my country. I don't want anybody to think I'm being unpatriotic. I love so many things about...
The U.S. needs to get away from this profit and debt economy.
I do.
It's doing no one any good.
The problem is as soon as America does that, we're on equal footing with the rest of the world. And as soon as we're on equal footing with the rest of the world, you get the whole superhero scenario. You have countries that don't care. They just don't care about playing by the rules, any rules. And I'm looking at you, China. I'm looking at you, China. China doesn't care about any rules whatsoever. And not just them. There are lots of others. Russia now, same boat. And
He does no Russian kappa.
yeah. Да, я говорю по-русски, почему? Да. But what I'm trying to tell you is...
The China, Iran, Iraq, and Israel think they control everything else, and they do.
Yeah, and look, they do, and America's right in there with them. I'm not saying America's innocent in any mean. Look, I love my country. I want to tell you that again. The reason that I'm talking about this stuff is because I love my country and I want it to prosper. But I want it to prosper not at the expense of others. I want everybody to prosper. There's plenty to go around. Oh God, if my skating around this parking lot...
Dude is a dictator.
Which dude? There's a lot of dictators out there. There's lots of different forms of dictatorship right now. Yeah. I don't know. Politics is complicated, but all I know is I love my country. I want the world to come to the table, but I don't think they will. Because the world, if there's one thing humanity keeps proving over and over again, that ultimately humans always operate in their best self-interest at the end of the day. At the end of the day. And that's not even greed. Humans always act in their own self-interest. And they can pretend like they're reducing suffering when they're divorced by going to charities like I did. But why was I doing that? So that I didn't feel so bad. Ultimately, it was a selfish desire. And I've come to the opinion there's no such thing as true altruism. I think if we would just own the fact that humans never do it. When did all of a sudden we see all these energy cars? When did we start seeing, you know, farm happy chickens? When did all that happen? When it became profitable to do so. When people started thinking, oh gosh, this could be, it makes me feel good to do this, right? People ultimately are self-interested, no matter how rich or poor they are. And I think if we could just accept that, if we could stop trying to pretend that humans are going to do things that's out of the goodness of their heart, because they don't do it. The goodness of their heart usually is to alleviate their own depression and sadness in some form. And that is self-interest. I don't want to be depressed anymore. I'm going to do something nice. I want to feel like I'm contributing to the world instead of I'm living a useless existence. Okay, I'm going to find a goal, right? I want to teach everybody how to do Linux, because then they'll be able to do better in the world. It makes me feel
Exactly.
It makes me feel better about myself. That is not altruism. That is not altruism. I would argue, and I did in a college paper that I wrote while I was Mormon, that there is no such thing as true altruism. Not even Jesus. Not even Jesus. Jesus died. Why? Why? What are Jesus' last words on the cross? And whether you believe the New Testament literally, or you believe in the New Testament figuratively, what are his words? He said, Abba. That's Daddy. It makes me so sad to talk about it. He was suffering on the cross according to the New Testament. And he called out, and he didn't say Heavenly Father, he said Daddy. Daddy, Daddy, take this away from me. And what did his dad say? I'm sorry, son. In order for the betterment of all humanity, you have to do this.
His Father, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
To all, I thirst. To the world, it is finished.
It's finished.
God, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Quote, quote.
And then he said, in order to fulfill all righteousness. Jesus did that because he was supposed to, because his daddy told him to, because it was obedience, because of all these other reasons, but he didn't do it because out of some altruistic desire, at least not in that moment. And if you push any human to the brink, it's like Harrison Ford in Air Force One. Harrison Ford in Air Force One, they put a gun to his girl's head. He's fighting tooth and nail to protect his country. I love that show. He's fighting tooth and nail to protect his country and his family. And as soon as they stick a gun to his daughter's head, he puts his hands in the air and he says, I'm sorry, just please no. Because he's been compromised, because humans are ultimately self-interested beings. And if we want to change humanity, we have to accept that. And we have to say that's not bad. You're not a narcissist because you're acting in your own self-interest. It's not even greed when you act in your own self-interest. When a girl reaches for a hanger, if that ever even happens, she's acting in self-interest. She's not doing it for some other reason. She's doing it because she's desperate. And it's funny because I think depending on where we are in life, we're at different places where we're able to act in a higher level of self-interest, which is more like, I want to feel good about myself versus, and I want to help others. And I think that's a really pretty good self-interested thing to do. Probably the best. You could argue that that's what Jesus did, if you believe in him. But take that away, starting to do things that discount the fact that we do things. You can't make laws that are going to force people to do things. You have to incent them with self-interested ideas. Make gas expensive. What do? They'll buy electric cars. They did. They proved that overwhelmingly. You know, so show them a documentary that shows them that sugar makes them fat and not fat. Boom. They'll go on keto diets and stop eating sugar. You know, If you want to get political change to happen, you're going to have to do it in a way that the masses will appeal. It will appeal to the masses.
Or confuse everyone so they don't know what is up.
Yeah, and that's another thing. And that's yeah, absolutely. The thing that's going on in the elite right now, and there's all kinds of cartoon about this, political cartoons about this. There's tons of political cartoons about this very thing. They have the fat cat 1% rich people that in their own self-interest have convinced the people who, for whatever reason, I call them simpler people. I don't call them dumb people. But he's convinced those people, they've convinced those people to believe lies that feed into their self-interest. And they lie to them to convince them that these things are in their best self-interest. And some of those people can be convinced by completely insane ideas about the world being flat and about there being monsters possessing Nancy Pelosi or whatever the fuck. And others need a little bit more convincing. But it's an active, and I mean, if you don't believe me, go watch any documentary about all of the the lying, deceitful sophists who claim to be acting in the name of Christ. One of them who died a horrible death in an airplane flying to Florida so we get drunk on a wine binge. I find it so terrifying. You know what? It makes me so sad because the people, the simple people, I'm going to call them simple. I use the word simple not as an insult. The simple people that are being manipulated by those people are victims.
The problem is not just people, but government is it the most.
Yep, it is. Government controls them. It's either government or people in power. I mean, it's an age-old dynamic, right? Other people are, you know, and not only that, but we celebrate it. How many times have you watched a con artist movie and just kind of related with the con artist and thought how cool it would be to be a con artist? How many times? We celebrate it. We celebrate it. We think that being smarter than everybody else because you're a con artist makes you somehow cool. We love it. We love all those movies. All those movies about, you know, all those, you know, really intelligent, artful, you know, you know why we like it? Because they're so intelligent and usually they're not doing anything bad. They're just stealing from people. It's like the Robin Hood thing. And I think there's a lot of people that like the idea that they can be smarter than the people that are taking advantage of everything. When Trump was
That fact, con artists typically get the lightest sentences.
Yeah, just look at Wall Street. I know we want to talk about it. I'll get so upset. Look at the people who destroyed the savings of thousands of people, made them have
one big moneyed interests controls government.
Yeah,
which actually is a violation of law under antitrust and racketeering.
Yep. But I mean, you look at what's happened. You look at what has happened to, yeah. I mean, the stuff that went down on Wall Street, the level. I mean, people stole.
Exactly a Jandreloon.
Yeah, people stole millions of dollars and got nothing. I love The Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf of Wall Street is one of my all-time favorite movies. Scorsese is a genius. The most important scene in the entire movie, and I'm going to spoil it here, so close your ears. The most important scene is it's not doing this Ludes from the 70s, which is hilarious. The most important scene in The Wolf of Wall Street is the very last scene before the credits. It's the most important scene in the entire movie. And I'm not even going to tell you what the scene is. I want you to go watch it. If you can bear to watch it.
Also, Citizens United added fuel to this fire.
Oh, they did. Citizens United was, you know, that's the whole thing, right? Have you seen the documentary on that? Pick a documentary. There's like 5 documentaries on that. Citizens United was an active effort from the high-end, you know, elite to control everything, and they did. And they completely put all the money, and then they control all the politics. And as soon as the money controls the politics, it's really hard to get that away. If you want to fight against that, by the way, the Mockingjay herself. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Federalist Society as well.
Yeah. There's
represent us, and I have nothing to do with them. I just like where they're coming from, and I think that they might be onto something. And one of the things they're doing is they're using social science to fight against the corruption. And it's amazing. It's amazing because they're actually using science to try to fight the corruption in the ways that have been proven to do so in the past. And their lead spokesman is the Mockingjay herself, which is why I'm going to confess, I am a huge fan. I didn't read the books, but I am a huge fan of them.
That's why charities' money mostly goes into the pockets of their CEO
it does.
CFO. At Jandreloon.
It absolutely does.
At dumb_chicken_biryani citizens for prosperity.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's just so hard to navigate it these days because, who are you going to trust? That's really the biggest question.
At dumb_chicken_biryani rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah. I know, I'm the old man ranting while he skates, right?
It's too much.
Yeah. My favorite is when they get caught saying what they really think. It's happened a few times. People have caught them on tape saying what they really think. Like when Trump says, you got to grab him by the pussy, or when Trump says, look, I'm picking on Trump, right? But you could say the same thing about...
They have shell companies and non-profit orgs to dump all this money.
Oh yeah, they totally do. There's been lots and lots of documentaries about that too. And by the way, they're not like what's his face, documentaries. What's that guy, the Trump guy who just made this documentary that all the Trump people are going crazy over? The harder part.
Hollywood was involved too. Look at what they were doing to Hedda Hopper.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, Hollywood has been involved all along too. I mean, look, media has always been involved, right? God, I watched a documentary.
Simply for gossiping.
I watched a documentary that Spielberg produced about the propaganda during World War II. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it was so intense. It was really, really interesting. It was a very long series, but it went into how information and media controls, public thinking. And I mean, we're all subject to it. So it's really, then it gets really hard because then you got to kind of question what your reality is. And that's why people then start latching on to religion. The reason that people latch on to religion so easily is because it's an absolute. They're told it's an absolute. And in a world of relative things where you have to constantly adjust and do scientific method to find the best way to do something, they don't like that. People want absolutes. It makes them feel cozy because they want to know exactly what to do to make them skinny. They want to know exactly what to do to get to heaven. They want to know exactly. They don't. It's hard work and it's uncomfortable to not know. To say, well, it depends. Relativism like that is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so they want, it's easier to live with a set of rules where you know what to do. I mean, you go on a cruise. Why do you like to go on a cruise? I like to go on a cruise because the one time I did, because I would go on a cruise and it would tell me, they would do everything for me. They would tell me when to eat. They would tell me when to go do this. They would tell me what activities, and I would pick an activity. I didn't have to think. And it was glorious. It was glorious. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Just let me just kind of float along. This is wonderful. I want to live like this all the time. And people do. People retire to a cruise ship because their life is totally controlled for them because they want it controlled. They don't want to think. They just want to relax and enjoy life. And I don't even know if that's bad. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's a different way to live. It is exhausting not having all of the religious answers anymore. It's fucking exhausting. Because guess what? There's really not one answer for everything. There's not. Even shooting someone is like, is it okay to shoot somebody? You can't just say no. Because there's plenty of times when it's totally okay.
I don't blame them either, really.
No, I don't blame them. It's like, who wants to go through all this? It is exhausting. This is why so many artists are so angsty. Because why? Because artists live in this space where they're constantly challenging belief and perception. They are constantly living in that space where they have to figure out what the world is about, and they have to face the ugly realities that some of this stuff might not be something that the devil is doing. It might be humans are doing it. And so they have to face, a lot of the artist community and the philosophers and stuff got so depressed and everything because they are facing down these realities. And then what do the Christian, what do the religious people say? Oh, that's those godless people. Those godless people, see how sad they are all the time? That's because they don't have Jesus in their life. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not because they don't have Jesus in their life. It's because they're seeing more of what the world is about. And those who are really content to put their blinders on, and this Steppenwolf, Herman Hesse's Steppenwolf is exactly about this. It's probably my favorite all-time book. Siddhartha from Herman Hesse is probably my favorite book of all time. Siddhartha from Herman Hesse but Steppenwolf will blow your mind. I mean, it will blow your mind. Right when you think you know what it's about, at the end of it, it just completely freaks the fuck out. You're like, I swear, Herman, you were doing LSD when you wrote the ending here, because I have no idea what you were trying to convey. I think what it is I think, I won't give away the ending, but I think...
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I think the protagonist and I think the ending transforms into a psychotic episode because he actually goes crazy. Because he's trying to deal with all of the stuff where he can really compartmentalize everything into the bourgeoisie life and this and that. He thinks he's got a real good beat on life. And then all of a sudden someone comes in and blows his whole point of view, even his point of view. And then boom, you know, he can't come back from it. Wait, why did I disconnect? Am I still there? Oh, sorry about that. All right, I gotta go. It's been really fun. Thank you, everybody.